$11.95? You can't afford $11.95? What's your problem?
Kool-Aid girl, my only love. Kool-Aid girl, my only love. Juice on your lip and it's dripping on your hips. Put my girl in jail for so long. She did nothing wrong. I want you free and I'm begging to the skies above. Kool-Aid girl, my only, yeah, Kool-Aid girl, my only love. If I was that guy from the farming website, I'll treat you right, clap those cheeks all night. I would change your life, no more OnlyFans. I will be your only man. Free Kool-Aid for life, only for $11.95. No more living in a van. We're going on vacation in Japan, and you can use my hot tub. Kool-Aid girl, my only. Kool-Aid girl, my only love. Juice on your lip and it's dripping on your hips. Put my girl in jail for so long. She did nothing wrong. I want you free and I'm begging to the skies above. Kool-Aid girl, my only. Kool-Aid girl, my only. Juice on your lip and it's dripping on your hips. Put my girl in jail for so long. She did nothing wrong. I want you free and I'm begging to the skies above. Kool-Aid girl, my only. Kool-Aid girl, my only. Kool-Aid girl, my only love. Kool-Aid girl, my only love.
That being said, that being said,
Hello. This is Phil Burnell. All right. And just wanted to tell you that I love the podcast. That being said, big ups. That being said, which vest is podcast best? That being said, relaxing, chill, interactive, fun. That being said, which vest is podcast best? That being said, relaxing, chill, interactive, fun. Team Insider, the legend, fantastic Mr. Sam, the dentist, Steve to the dead, psychological style host. Get well soon, man. Me, your cat, artistic style host. That being said, which vest is podcast best? That being said, which vest is podcast best?
If there was ever meaningful content, it's being produced right here on That Being Said.
Hello, everybody. That was it. The one, the only, Stuttering Craig with the final line of our intro song. I've just been informed that he might have had a little bit more to say. I'm not quite sure about that yet, but we're going to get into that. Hello to everybody. Hello to Meerkat Mob.
Hey, are we having technical difficulties? Because I can hear everything you're saying like twice.
You can hear everything I'm saying twice. What if I went like that? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Huh. You can hear me twice. How about for you guys? Can you guys hear me fine out there, listeners? Listeners are hearing me fine, but you guys are hearing me twice. Very strange, very strange, very strange. Let's see. I fix that. Get out and come back in, guys. Okay. That'll help.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get out and come back in. Not my fault. I did nothing wrong. Make it very clear. I did nothing wrong. It's not a bit.
It's working for me.
Yeah, see? Steve's fine. Yeah. There we go. It's that Eastern European internet they always talk about. Anyways.
No wonder we left the EU.
Hell yeah. Anyways, Meerkat's coming back in right now. He should be back with us. Hello, Meerkat. Are you with us? Are you live? Oh, no, I got to add his different link. Hang on. He's talking, but I got to add him here. Anyways, we started early because there was so much to talk about. Now it's a good time to eat all that time up with technical difficulties. Oh, hello, buddy. How you there? Hello.
Hello. I just had the most low IQ moment I've had all day. I just had the stream open in a different tab, so I was literally just hearing the audio from it. So no fault on ALT, guys. He did nothing wrong factually.
You heard him. You heard him. Assholes. I expect emails from every one of you, and I expect it now. Anyways, you're all fucking legends. Thanks for chilling today. So, this week, it's been a hell of a week. A lot of stuff going on right now. Let's not fuck around. I had some hype retro reacts, like a Philip saying, anyone that believes I play mobile games is an asshole, is a mouth drooler, needs mental help. All that shit. I just closed all the tabs, because fuck it. Too much to talk about. So, Steve of the Dead is here as well. Hello, Steve. Come on.
Hey, how's it going? I'm getting into the booze, getting into the spirit of things. So, for $50...
Yeah! Whoa!
Hey, yo.
Holy shit!
Brothers!
Serious? All right, should we add the $50 we'll take the shirt off thing? But anyways. That was very hype from last night. Philip, now, just casually, as you asked for a DoorDash order, Philip said, guys, if we get to 1,000, I'll rip the shirt off. And he kept bringing that shit up too. Where was days when we would beg for $50? Now, guys, let me tell you, we beg for $1,000. Big ups to the Kino Casino boys for creating this monster that we have now, that we can now feast on for months and months. Because we have now unleashed the final form of DSP, and he is now full. Remember, what did he say in the Null interview? Frankenstein or something? I forget that part. What did he say? Something like that. Anyways, enough nonsense. Let's get to it. So, real quick, DSP sent a strongly worded email to Craig. Okay? Craig is the one person, I was the only person on this whole entire panel, and It's a Gundam, that knew who that was. That is where I believe the old meme started. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Everyone doubted me. Everyone on Earth doubted me, said Craig would do a bad job. You saw how that turned out. But next, Craig was sent an email from DSP saying, look how the how the turntables, Craig. Okay? Look at you. No one's talking about your show anymore. Meanwhile, that show is averaging 2,000, 3,000 viewers every fucking day. But yeah, no one's talking about the show anymore, Phil. Very fair. I guess they're talking about your show with the 400 or 500 viewers. Anyways. So Craig decided, has responded to that email. He said it on Twitter yesterday, and it just happened like an hour ago. So I am raw dogging this. First time for me. Have you seen this yet, Steve?
No. This is breaking for me as well.
Breaking news for us. Meerkat, have you seen this?
No.
Okay, so
but people said it was good. My sources, because I'm a journalist now. This is journalistic coverage.
All right, here we go. This is Stuttering Craig's response to the scathing emails from the king. Let's go.
Only channel, DSP Gaming.
I'll turn it up.
Yes.
Okay, so that's his only YouTube channel.
No, that's not accurate.
Like DSP
free
as well, or something like that.
This guy's really quiet, but I'm doing my best here.
The reason why I ask is because I think it's important.
Mm-hmm.
Judging from his viewership,
very quiet, I know, but
and
I'm
the
boosting
steady
it.
decline of it,
huh?
I would assume he is attempting to generate relevancy.
Correct.
And he knows lol cow, drama, and yelling does very well because it would appear like he's taken a play out of Keemstar's book or something. Because I guess he
Keem was
appeared
on the show
that.
a couple of days ago. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's appeared on that, and his live stream, where DSPX Keem go live, 28,000 views. His previous one was 7,000 views. The one before that, 8, 7, 12, 8, 9, 16, 11, 22. But 22 was talking about drama.
Right.
I don't know anything about this individual. All I know is that now all of a sudden he's trying to invite people because Kirsha made a tweet saying that I've been tagged a lot because he's willing to have VTubers on.
Mm-hmm.
He's not doing this because I think he genuinely cares. He's doing this because he needs relevancy. He needs views. 700 views on a video is not that it looks like these are edits, even if they're just clips. That's not paying any bills. And it doesn't appear like he has any other source of revenue.
Yeah. Well, I think that what he's trying to do is he's trying to pivot, right? He's been doing the same thing literally for 15 years. Right?
Okay. Oh, that's it, Meerkat?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have known.
All right, let's just build. Are they still live now?
Yeah, but the deal is Craig didn't actually read the email from DSP.
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of clickbait.
For
some reason he didn't do it.
Oh, is that because he wants to be
the hate on me?
Yeah.
At least publicly, he probably has like had a look and gone, all right, then whatever, mate.
Okay, so so he did not read it, but has assumed anything. Let's see. Has he agreed to anything? I guess in that. Let's just go to the way. I'll go to side scrollers. Fuck it. They're live. We can rewind. So let's do that now on stream now. My first time doing this, guys, as whatever DSP said. Remember? All right, so he responds to it. Craig responds to DSP. Now I'm gonna have to find this. Responding to DSP.
So much of this, like
Here we go.
I'm aware of the name and the acronym, but like, is this important? What is this? Like, what have I missed?
It's so good.
Okay.
I've been in hell, in case you haven't noticed. So whatever. I don't know, man.
I just want to die now.
Okay. Let me just kind of give a little background here.
Okay.
So a month into our show, we had.
All right, we don't need the whole backstory. I'm gonna go farther in. Okay.
But that hack just came flooding back to her then.
Yeah, she got the point.
I want to die now. She remembers that moment.
Yeah.
Decided to reply.
Yeah.
Now you guys know why I don't delete mine.
Now, look, I'm not going to read the email because I'm only going to read what I sent to him, right? But what he said to me is whatever. But the point is that he has asked me to come on his show, and I am considering it. But I will say this: he drives a hard bargain with such kind words like this, right? So I will actually ask you guys. Based off of what you see, based off of what I've said in chat, this is for you as well. Should I go on the Dark Side Phil podcast and have this one-on-one? Because my thought is that I should, because I have invited him on the show again, and I said that I will appear on his show as well to kind of finish it up. And honestly, like, I wouldn't be doing it for me. I feel like I'd be doing it more for him, because this is something that he's clinging onto. Very much so. He's very much held on to this for 18 months, and he very clearly has a lot in his chest.
Yes.
And if he wants to yell at me for an hour, that's fine. I'm totally okay with that.
Is his only channel DSP Gaming?
All right, we got that part. She's gonna say the same thing.
We can skip like the next 2 minutes.
Show the community, but my community didn't just be like, "Oh, you want to ask goes? You're not gonna watch it." Like, they're not gonna do that, right? They're gonna come in and be like, "Foot," like they're fucking psychos. But like, it's collabing is never a bad thing, right? Maybe some of your viewers like DSP later on because of it, or maybe some of his viewers like you because of it. Like, it's not gonna, unless you guys get into a screaming match about dumb bullshit and you.
Well, that would make so much money, though.
Drop a couple slurs, like, you're gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, and
that sounds like a lot of fun.
That's not gonna happen for me.
That would make a ton of money. That would make a ton of money, though.
Right.
Yeah, for fair.
People saying read the email. No, I'm not gonna read a private email. Right, I'm not going to read
Listen, no DM is private. No DM is private. I'm sorry.
Right. But an email
whatever you DM somebody, whatever you DM somebody, it better be whatever you're okay with showing other people.
I'll say this.
Yeah, of course.
If I go on the show, if I go on his show and we talk it out, which like I said, I'm cool with. I'm a grown ass adult. I'm all about conversation. I want to make sure that our email correspondence is shared, though, right? Because the emails that we've had back and forth, I have no idea how he could read them as, it's got to be one of those things where tone is lost in text.
Yes.
Where you read them a certain way and you're looking at it, you're like, you can't believe he said that, right?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Pause real quick.
We got the point.
In one of his last emails after the interview, Craig said that he wanted to help Phil get to level 2.
Yes.
And that hurt more than anything else that happened those couple of days.
But I also want to say that Philip has lied extensively about those correspondences with Craig. I played on the show. I think you were gone that week, because Philip said like Craig ghosted me after that, never talked to me again. And then I said, ask Craig, is that true? And he said, no. I actually asked him many times, like, I want to bury this hatchet. You want to come on for the for the year afterwards? And Philip said before, I know now he's recently retconned that and said that he asked me to be on the 1 year anniversary. Like, I give a shit. But before that, he said, Craig has never said anything to me again, doesn't do anything. And Craig said that was not true directly to me and said that's an outright lie. So Philip has very much made what Craig's correspondences different than what the truth is. You know what I'm saying? So
I have absolutely no doubts about that, because DSP is the ultimate unreliable narrator, because he interprets things in wilder ways than anybody else could.
Yes.
So I'm sure this happened.
And Richard Young is correct. He construes things in chat as yelling at him. Good observation there. That is true. People are yelling at me. Well, they're just sending messages on the chat room. I don't know if that's yelling. But anyway,
also, we just can't pick up on a bunch of stuff through context, like sarcasm and innuendo. It completely goes over his head. He's too literal. Like, he got mad that the top 10 worst DSP gaming moments wasn't gaming moments because it said DSP. So, he cannot be trusted to properly converse through text. So,
yes, that's very, very true. So there you go. The news is Craig has dropped on his Twitter that... let's see. Let me refresh it here because it's not on this one I have open. He will be on. I've agreed to Dark Side's Phil next Thursday after my obligation with Side Scroller Pod to complete. It will be a one-on-one interview. So there we go. It will be a one-on-one interview this Thursday with Stuttering Craig. That's next Thursday. So the drama doesn't stop. Next week is going to be as hot as this week. Just in case you didn't know, June the King is dropping his documentary as well on Monday morning, apparently. And we, on that being said, for the moment, are thinking about doing a show on Tuesday and Thursday. But Tuesday and Wednesday. We're trying to maybe do 2 shows that day, but not confirmed yet. We'll let you know. All right, so maybe Tuesday and Wednesday we'll do a show. We'll let you know, all right? We'll keep you abreast of all the goings-on. Okay. So, ready to go back in time? Anything else you want to say, Meerkat, before we go back in time into the week that was?
No. I guess let's keep it moving. We got some breaking news here, I guess. So the journalistic coverage is still on point, even though none of us has a journalism degree. We got a bunch of other degrees, but Craig has the journalism degree. That's why he's going to pull up with a good journalism by having a good interview with Phil. And now, Dark Side Phil has been the most hyped up by the internet he's ever been. I don't think there's any doubts about that. So nothing is off the table with him. And he's going to try and have a better interview with Craig than Craig had with him, which is going to be very interesting. So this, I'm interested in this way more than the Keemstar one or the Null one, because this is, there's some bad blood.
Yes, and Craig, 100%, rightfully so, tried to believe DSP. Remember, gave Philip an out. We tried to believe you, Philip, but what did Craig say? We don't believe what you're telling us. Your story you were telling doesn't make sense. So what did he say? Make it make sense. And Philip chose not to, and then got pissed because Craig didn't just believe his lies. So I hope Craig has not lost his decision-making abilities there, because before he didn't believe it. I hope he doesn't just believe the same shit he's spouted before, because none of the story has changed. He's just a king now, Craig. So nothing.
But remember, Phil, his biggest problem with the interview wasn't the actual interview. It was the decompression that they did the next day, where they read super chats and responded to them and said thanks for the money, which is ironically exactly the same thing he did right after he had Keemstar on his show.
Yes, and he even called it the same
exact thing. And also
thing.
after the side scrollers.
Yes.
When he said, that interview went great, guys. I don't know why you keep telling me it went bad.
Guys, Craig backstabbed me. Yes, Clara Berry, that was the wording he used. Craig backstabbed me, or knifed me, I believe he also said. Knifed me. So there we go.
Yeah, his DSP React to their post show was called backstabbed by the side scrollers.
You should have Adam on next then. Once he's done with Craig, the next interview should be Adam.
Can you imagine? Oh, that would be great. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the favor that side scrollers did to Philip by not reading those super chats on the stream? That was the biggest favor they could have done to Philip. And how were they rewarded? By Philip saying they backstabbed him. You would rather them read the super chats on the stream with you there? That would have been better. So Craig did the nice thing, waited till the next day, and then that's considered to be a backstabbing because they read the super chats and also they didn't blindly believe the lies Philip said when there's a lot of evidence on this side of the room, and there's the Philip saying that's not me. And Craig and Adam chose to believe the mountains of evidence instead of that's not me, so which is any person with a brain would probably do. But anyways, we got to keep it moving here. Let's go back in time to an interview, which seems like a long time ago now. I promise you it wasn't. But there's a little website known as the Kiwi Farms you might have heard of. And they do a lot of things on there, agricultural-based website. And what Philip wanted to talk, well, didn't want to. He was set up to talk with the owner of that site, known as Josh. And it was an interesting interview. I didn't have high hopes for this, but there was some high highs in that. So let's first go into what I consider to be the high point, honestly. As you can see the title here. Let's just watch it and then we're going to chop through. I'm going to pause a lot here, so let's go.
It's the high army.
Okay, no. Skipping my part.
Do you know a guy named Darish or Derek?
Big ups to Hate Army, by the way. Just skipping my part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
He's like a supporter, moderator, and like thumbnail maker for your stream, right?
Wrong on all three counts. He's not a supporter. He's not a moderator. And
So Philip was so fast with this. I think he was ready, right? He knew this was going to come. I think he was kind of ready for this, honestly, because he was very quick with that. Wrong on all counts. Get fuck. But here we go. Let's keep listening.
Made a thumbnail for me whatsoever. All wrong. All detractor bullshit. He's just a viewer.
Okay.
And he made a tier maker for me once or twice.
Okay, tier maker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Josh, do you have like receipts on that, or is this what you've heard, or is this what's in his thread, or what?
Well, his response is there's definitely a relationship, or when I say relationship, I mean there's definitely
biting.
But his response is actually it falls through a crack. I don't know how to respond to that because the guy is
just
definitely
a quick note.
Yeah, please.
Back on Twitch, Derek was indeed a supporter. Yeah,
yes, he was.
Nowadays, he was getting a bunch of gifted memberships because he was begging for them all the time. But back on Twitch, he was a supporter. One of the reasons he stopped being a supporter is that his mama found out that he was using her credit card to buy memberships, subscription to DSP.
So Derek was a supporter.
So he did make thumbnails.
Yes, he did make thumbnails. So both those, actually, Philip, both of those things
and
are
stream
wrong.
Art. Yeah. You that found that, or someone else?
So,
someone on Twitter found it. Like
I believe the wording. I believe the wording Philip used was all of those things were wrong. I believe so. I just want to just show you one of those things that was actually right. So here is a thumbnail that Derek created, as you can see, made by Derek Loves Lemurs. That is just one example of that. I have a few other ones if you'd like it.
That's the OG Twitch Derek username.
Yeah. Here's another one. So I'm not sure how it was wrong, but it seems to be right. And what else was the third one? I can't remember. Thumbnails.
I would say
all three.
This qualifies more as fan art, unless it was actually used as a thumbnail to a stream.
Okay. Fair enough. It's fair enough. Okay, but he did contribute to the streams.
We did talk about the React stream thumbnails in the past, but later on in this video, DSP denies that was Derek, so it might have as well been us being wrong about that.
It could have been, but oddly enough, when the only time they stopped getting thumbnails is when Derek went on his vacation, and when he came back, they came back. So again, that's circumstantial evidence, but we don't know. So there we go. I only want to tell the truth on this show.
Like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah,
and he definitely has like playlists of like little girls and stuff on his YouTube. Like that's archived independently of the forum. But
what do you think?
I think I remember seeing like his badge in chat though, that he had a supporter, like a mod sword or something.
No, that you're seeing someone gifted him a membership. That's what you're seeing. It's just a gifted membership. Anyone can get.
Incorrect. He was a mod on Twitch.
At that on YouTube. He has no power whatsoever on my streams whatsoever.
Okay.
But
Well,
he's
was he a
allowed
mod
in
on
your
Twitch,
streams,
actually?
though.
Yes,
That's what Hate Army says. Derek had mod-like power. Oh, no. He had mod-like powers on YouTube. I thought he was. Wasn't he a mod on Twitch? I don't want to say any incorrect information. Let me know, chat, if I'm wrong.
Well,
I
at
thought he
some
was.
point, I remember factually watching a DSP stream, and Derek would say, "Get rid of this guy," and he tags this guy in chat, and this guy would be got rid of immediately.
There you go. Mod-like powers is the correct way to say it. Yes, mod-like powers. Let him be gone.
I do, just very, very quickly, Derek was submitting stuff to the React channel, which you can't do with the gifted membership. So where were those submissions coming from?
Ah, interesting.
We also know from somebody else, Arkham Edits, that Phil likes to pay his editors in React submissions. Because OP Boom found this out when they were comparing the public playlist to what was played, and they found out extra videos were in there. So
about the gifted membership React channel stuff. People used to be able to do that before the Argentina thing happened, and after that, DSP fixed it to be more expensive, so gifted members couldn't do that.
Yep. There we go. All right, let's keep moving. And by the way, as you can see here, Null and the Kino Casino boys were absolutely in tandem on this interview. It was very clear that they talked about the things they wanted to talk about, because I know you heard Triple P just asked a question, but then right when Null said, "Yeah, I think there were some other things," and then Triple P's like, "Yeah, get into that." You know, it was kind of, they knew what they were going to ask Phil about, and it was funny because Philip said, "Yeah, this is not like the side scrollers," when it kind of was a little bit mini side scroller-esque in some parts, where they like, "All right, well, let's ask Phil about this bad thing and this bad thing." But anyways, let's go.
He is,
but he has playlists of little kids on his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we publicly address this formally? This is good. We can finally do this.
Let's talk about this. This is good.
Sure.
Why is
this, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm somehow under the impression that this is not good, because off the top of my head, I can think of at least five 5-minute segments of this guy telling everyone in chat if they don't stop bringing up the Derek stuff, quote unquote, they're gonna get banned.
Yes.
But now it's good that we finally get to address this, since he's never had this opportunity before. It's great.
And I thought we were going one way, but then we just we turned the wheel the other way. Let's get to it.
A member of your community when he's such a creep.
That's the one thing that's really fucked. Yeah.
Here's my philosophy. You guys can completely disagree as streamers yourselves, and everyone out there watching, you may also disagree as well. All right, but allow me to lay down my methodology here.
Sure.
Okay. I'm a content creator. Every day I put on a stream. I'm trying to entertain an audience. I'm trying to make a living. I got to chat. People come in, people come out. I see people from all walks of life, people from here, there, and everywhere who attend my streams.
Fair enough.
And I don't judge anyone for anything but what's going on in my stream. Okay. If I see someone in this stream doing something disgusting, having awful things said, or they're breaking the rules, they're out of it. I have rules laid out. Actually, my stream, I think, is a little bit more lax than others, because I used to be known as like the moderator heavy guy, and now I almost don't have any moderators anymore. I kind of handle it all myself.
Yeah, they all fucking left.
I used to be known as the moderator heavy guy. Yeah, that was his calling card. By the way, just a few things, because Phil said if you acted out in his chat, you would get banned. Such thing as saying WWE champions, saying cat, saying all these things that are now cool to say.
Subaru. You couldn't even say Subaru.
Yeah. Jenna, all these things would get you banned in your chat. So just to comparison, Derek, Young Girl Playlist, and Words. One of those would get you banned. The other would, you'd be a welcome member of the community. But let's keep going here.
But anyway, also at one point, when he had I think it was a Discord leak or something, there was a huge list of banned terms on Twitch, and that list was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Philosophy is, what goes on in my stream is the extent of my responsibility as a streamer to take care of. Now, anyone out there who makes content, do you personally know every single person who's on your stream? Do you know what their life is like behind the scenes? Do you know what kind of stuff that they're into? What, their kinks, their bullshit, what they post on their...
Yeah, but I mean, none of that matters, because when it is then later brought to your attention that, hey, this person does some really shady shit, you have to deal with that, because it's your fucking community.
Yeah.
He thought this was such a good response, by the way. Go ahead, Emmercap.
People have been coming to him with the actual Derek posting and screenshots of all this for years. and he still did nothing. Because at this point, like you're being presented with this stuff. I don't expect him to know all the fucking dozens of people that are in his chat and what they do and whatever. Nobody expects anybody to know any of this for any stream chat ever.
Yes.
But when they're bringing it to you and you straight up not even just refuse to ban him, but you have separate segments defending him, people start thinking stuff.
And let's not forget, there was one person allowed to spam in that chat, and that was Derek Gibb. And I know sometimes he would more call him out, but even then, calling him out was kind of like, guys, please keep the spamming down. You know, I want to, and you know, it was like a sideways way. Couldn't even be like, you know, strong enough to say it to his face. I remember he said like, you can mute him, guys, just mute him. Making other people make that decision rather than taking the decision himself. But all right, let's keep going.
Their social media, of course not. How on holy hell would any of us ever know what all of our viewers are doing?
They're not buying this.
Is it in our realm of responsibility
as they shouldn't
to have to actually look into that? You understand?
No,
these people are just here to watch me.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's doing that thing where he has to make us look like unreasonable, so he has to distort the argument to make our argument look unreasonable. Because it's like no one's saying you have to know everything about everyone. What we are saying is, hey, you do know this bad thing about this one person, and you're doing nothing about it. There's very, very different situations there.
You know, this one person though, you do know about him. You know what I mean? It's not, we're not asking you to know everyone, but you do know about this one.
That's all I care about.
May I just okay, so I understand what you're saying. You don't know everyone's backstory, you can't control everyone. Makes sense. But we have verifiable evidence that Derek is a pedophile. He has playlists of kids, and it's really weird fucking shit. And this is the one thing Ashton and I are like, what the fuck is...
What the fuck
I
is
get
this
what you're
shit?
saying.
And
I get
Josh
what you're saying.
looked into it yesterday. Let Josh.
Josh looked into it yesterday. This was definitely a coordinated thing.
What
but
do you think about what Phil just said?
Well, it's not just this. Like, I mean, knowing about it, like when you find out, like you have to
keep
you have to
sipping.
do something about that. And
You
from what
better
I
take a
understand,
sip.
the big point of contention is not just that he's there; it's that other people, you know, who are in your community, who are in your chats, have pointed out that this guy is who he is, and he seems to be getting a layer of protection that people are able to observe. He seems to get away, according to the people that watch, he gets away with a lot more than other people would. Just in, it's suspicious to them. I don't know. I've not seen this, but that's what that's what they
So
say.
you don't even know what they're saying. You just think that somehow he's getting some kind of protections in.
Again, this is a classic DSP defense. So you don't know all the details of this, right? Just want to be clear on that. You don't know every single possible detail of this, right?
So therefore, the bits that you do know are questionable.
This is a classic DSP defense mechanism right here.
My stream is what you're saying.
Yeah, either from people in the chat calling it out or just in regards to his behavior. Like, apparently he spams a lot and he gets a pass with that, and people suspect that there is some kind of association there where he gets a pass. Like, for instance, with the thumbnails, because they say that he has like a monthly vacation, and during that vacation, the style of your thumbnails changes, and that is how they come to the conclusion that the thumbnails are being made by him, because they don't get made by him when he's gone.
He's literally never made anything like that for me whatsoever. He's, like I said, the only thing he's ever made is 2 tier makers, I believe, over the last year.
So he
That's
has
it.
made stuff, though.
He 2 tier makers, and one that I used on a stream, one I didn't.
So what you're saying is yes, then.
Yes. If he did make thumbnails, though, that would be bad. Tier maker, that's a different thing. That is good and fine because it's different.
Also, he
I
made
have
it
to say,
after
though-
I was told.
Yeah.
I have to say, though, I think Josh did great for himself on this stream. I think he defended himself and talked about Kiwi Farms in a very fair way. And he didn't bundle all the detractors as unhinged, insane sociopaths. So, yeah, good job. I think it was a pretty entertaining stream generally.
He was people. I was restreaming and people were posting what he was writing on Kiwi Farms while the interview was going. And his first message was in that during the stream said, "I see why people troll this guy." That was what his message was. That's legitimately what he wrote. All right, well, let's go.
But brother Phil, like you can't have a pedophile making stuff for you and part of your community in a broad sense, right? Like. You should probably just ban the fucking guy and send him packing, and I think you'd get a lot less shit if you did.
The answer in this case is okay. It's already too late, but at this point, you say, yep, good idea, boys, especially if you want to keep a king arc going. You'd think. And by the way, Kino Bros, even in that chat, was turning on Philip at this moment. And I was saying, like, oh, man, is this the hill we're going to die on right here? Because they were saying, no, king, is this the end of the king? The king is dead? A lot of people were saying shit because this is... no one wants to fuck around with pedophiles? Obviously. You don't do that. But here we go.
Here's the thing. You're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. You guys are correct. If I were right now to say enough is enough, too many people have issue with this guy, ban him. Okay? That would solve that problem. However,
that's a big fucking
the big
problem.
picture that no one's
Let's
looking
solve that problem then.
at. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, but listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
You don't understand the Pandora's box that you open once you do.
No, that's a very obvious, like, slippery slope fallacy. It's like you can get rid of the guy that has the
That
little
is
girl
a
playlist on
fallacy.
YouTube without opening Pandora's box. That's
No.
not really
Oh, Josh, you gotta listen.
Josh,
all right?
no.
'Cause again, you know how bad
Let me tell
my
you, the
distractors are.
person that owns Kiwi Farms, what
Yeah.
it's like to be.
Let me tell you something about trolls, Josh.
Immediately after the slightest pressure is put on him, you know how bad my detractors are. Should we talk about my detractors? They are really bad. Same thing happened with the Keemstar stream. It was like incredible.
Correct. You know how crazy they are. The only reason that we even know anything about this person is because my detractors went to all of his personal socials and dug into them deep.
But he's a pedophile.
But they got him. It's public.
They got him,
Deep.
though.
He's
Dug
Twitter's
into him.
like,
Yeah, just
assuming
to be
you've
clear.
not been blocked. Twitter's, it's public.
Dug into him deep. Let me translate that into the reality of the situation. Looked at his Twitter account.
Or his Instagram. And
Or
you
his
just
Instagram.
scrolled for like 1 second.
Diving deep, boys. We're going deep.
Okay, now hold on.
he's a
I know.
pedophile,
Listen.
Yeah.
I'm not disputing what you guys are saying, but please
Okay.
let me finish what
No,
I'm
you
saying.
are.
For sure.
All right. If the only reason that I know that this guy did something bad is because people went off of the realm of my streams and my content to find it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but that's not my responsibility to be dealing with. Do you understand? Because here's the thing. Now, please listen. If I ban Derek right now, I call him Derek because that's what I thought his name was. I guess it actually is Darish or whatever. But
You have a special name for him. So, for anyone that might not know, he has a special name for this person that they've had for years. His actual name is not Derek. It is Darish. But Philip has a special name for this valued member of his community. All right, let's keep moving positively.
I've just realized this is
If
right above my head when I'm stuck. I need to change this.
Yeah.
I ban Derek right now. Here's what will happen. Because here's what Josh just said about Kiwi Farms. If he deletes my thread on Kiwi Farms right now, the detractors go somewhere else to do something worse, correct? If I ban Derek right now, the detractors won because they say, look what we did. We researched the guy. No one would have known he had anything wrong with him.
Dude. We won getting a pedophile out of your community. We won, boys. Got the pedophile banned. We did it. And Philip doesn't want that to happen. He would rather us take the L on leaving a pedophile in DSP's community.
Yeah, fuck my community. I've got to get one over on the detractors. I can't have them winning and my community being better because I've just kicked out a fucking pedo.
This is where it gets you when you're obsessed with winning over other people on the internet. And you just don't care. You set everything aside because what's important is that those people are mad and you see that you won. It's actually insane. It's actually delusional, unhinged behavior.
Every single person in my community, troll W. What's more important? Not giving the trolls a W is much more important. And he was saying that like it's a good reason not to ban a pedophile. I have to keep reiterating that fact so we don't lose it. What we're defending here.
Phil Streams, for the
what
record.
Philip is defending here, excuse me.
Derek has never once talked about any of this malicious activity on my stream. He knows better than that. He doesn't bring that shit. That's his personal life or whatever, right? So he does not
He's
do
very
that on my
public
stream.
with his personal
If I
life.
ban him, guess what happens? The detractors say, We got the response we wanted.
His
Phil finally
personal
banned him.
If I may,
We're on to the next.
I have a very personal, like, because there's a very comparable story to this. The forum is having a kind of beef with this Ricada guy that you know about, and he dug through some information and he found out that one of the users is a convicted child pornographer from the District of Columbia. And when this was brought to my attention, I banned him. And sure, them finding this out was a win. You know, they won. They got to say, oh, well, the Kiwi Farms has a pedophile. We can prove it. And it's true. It's embarrassing. But I still banned him because I don't want a pedophile on my forum. Do you think that's a fair comparison?
It is a fair comparison. However, what you didn't let me finish this statement here.
Oh, please.
The moment I banned Derek and these detractors say we won, guess what happened? You just gave them exactly what they wanted. You gave them the attention they're craving. And then they move on to someone else. They move on to someone else.
How many pedophiles are you hiding, Philip? How many pedophiles are left to find? Is that what you're scared of? Finding more pedophiles in your chat?
like imagine, like, we get rid of Derek and then we go, right, let's look at this Jade fella. And then we look at him like, hey, guys, turns out he's in a wheelchair. We've got him. There's a bit of a difference, isn't there, between the two? Like, Jade would just be normal. And you've got the fucking pedo that you've been defending for like 6 years.
So you could say Philip wants to keep his safe space because he doesn't want to give the detractors a W. Once again, what's more important? Giving the detractors an L or defending a pedophile and maybe more after him. All right? You see what's more important. Let's keep going.
And then they move on to someone else until it's done.
But sometimes in life you have to hold the L. And sometimes bad people are going to get a win, but that's just the reality. You can't have a pedophile in your community, like an open pedophile, and you're basically admitting he's a pedophile.
Oh no, let me tell you this.
It's okay.
I will say this. I don't know anything about that because I make it a philosophy. I do not personally research my viewers. I think that's fucking creepy. That I would.
Okay, well, I want to interject here. Brian, the person that DSP was friends with a few months ago, played Street Fighter sets with him. Brian has said he told DSP specifically about Derek's antics and the Young Girl playlist. He was told about that and chose to do nothing. So DSP is 100% lying here, according to top tier. Top tier rated.
Top
tier rated. Yeah, top tier rated. And so he was told exactly about Derek, specifically the Young Girl playlist. And I'll read his tweet right now from Top Tier Rated. About fucking time this dude is being banned. I told him that shit months ago, but I'm not Kino Casino. And that was his exact tweet. Still public. 20,000 views on that tweet. That got a lot of mileage on that.
Also, you can hear Brian talk about that directly in his stream with Agent Proper. Go look it up, and you're going to see it. It's a fun stream. And also, not only did DSP just not ban Derek back then, he defended him by saying that Derek did this when he was very young, even though that playlist, the one that had, what was the title? Cute Little Girls or something?
Just
and the
young
thumbnail
girls.
was like yeah, the thumbnail was some child that's less than 10 years old.
Oh, yeah, that was the thumbnail? Yeah, go ahead.
That time when the tacos stuff was kicking off, Phil has a rant, and in it he says, I'm fed up of hearing about this.
Yes.
And that was about a year ago. Year and a half.
I'm fed up about hearing about this. I'm tired of you telling I'm tired of you guys telling me about my pedophile in my community, guys. Stop telling me about it. I don't want to hear about that. By the way, just so you know, the playlist, it was not anything sexual. It was it's scarier than that, right? It's scarier than that. It's
when
people,
you're sexualizing non-sexual content. Yeah, that's
yes. It's people that are 4, 5, 6 years old at a park.
Legit, hundreds of videos, legitimately.
I believe multiple it topped out at 300. Multiple playlists of this topic, 300 of them. And Philip was told of this by Brian and decided to say all this to the Kino Casino boys instead of just banning him a long time ago. Here we go.
Spend my time every time that someone says something about someone, I got to go search their socials. I got to go to their YouTube page and search their history.
Wait, may I say one thing? Sorry, may I say one thing? Okay, so you're saying people did research outside the realm of your show and
right.
whatever. I get what you're saying there. Well, if Derek was caught and you found out that the police found something on him and he's in the middle of a trial right now, and he was a pedophile, right? And it wasn't the detractors or anything. It was through legal whatever, right? Then would you ban him because it wasn't detractors?
Well, how would I find out about that? Like, how would I even know that?
He's trying to defend that if the police took action against Derek, he still might not do it. How did I find out about that? Hang on a minute. The detractor tell me
wait
about
till the
it?
verdict's in, yeah. Guilty, innocent until proven guilty.
Did the detractors share the news story or not? I'm interested in that.
I live in the
We
same
have
city as him.
By the way, some quick journalistic coverage, real quick.
Yeah,
Adam
please.
Krigler is willing to tag in if necessary, quote unquote.
Go on.
Please.
As a reply to his tweet of Stuttering Craig that says, I have agreed to go on Darkside Phil's show next Thursday after my obligations with side scrollers are complete. It will be a one-on-one interview, and Adam says, I'm willing to tag in if necessary. So hopefully it is necessary.
This is the best. We are feasting. We are feasting.
Bill, do you mind if I bring a mate on?
yeah, bring my friend.
Got a mate who wants to join the call.
For example.
What if it was Harvey Weinstein? Like, how bad does somebody have to be?
Look at how much he's thinking about it.
Great question.
So
You know
if
what I
Hitler
mean?
was on my stream and was still alive, would I ban Hitler? Right?
Yeah. Please.
1488 was now.
Well, there's a lot of things said about that guy. Who knows what's after him?
He did help revitalize the German economy post-war.
Well,
some good things.
Would you ban him?
Jimmy Savile did a lot of work for charity. I don't mind him.
What was the
He's
boogie
only
line?
deferring.
This is a boogie line, not my line. The Holocaust was horrible, but some good came out of it. That was a boogie line.
Oh, fuck yeah, Jesus.
That's a boogie line, not an ALT Insider line. Thank you.
In Germany, and you don't know anything about that, right?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, that's a good point. But I totally understand what you're saying. I do. Let me tell you, I've gotten a lot of shit over this. And here's the funny part.
I've gotten a lot of shit over this. I've heard about this a lot. You guys aren't the first guys to bring this up. Let me tell you, I've heard about this asshole many times.
Fuck does this
This is the first I'm hearing about it, but I have had a lot of shit about it over the years.
It's not even anything I've done or ever. I got to take shit because someone got dirt on a viewer of mine.
I have to take shit
or whatever. And again, the other things you've been told are not true. He's not a moderator. He doesn't regularly make any content for me. He's had one tier maker that I made. That's it. Like, that's literally the extent of that. And then he talks
Let's just start with- so if he does have playlists of little girls on his channel, he's creeping on little girls. Do you disavow that behavior?
Oh, absolutely, I do. Absolutely,
So you disavow Derek then?
Yeah, I don't condone any of that, but at the same time, I'm not.
Didn't want to say I disavow Derek. Did not want to say that there. That's the chance he was given. Go ahead.
Bro, this dude is willing to throw anybody under the bus for the smallest reason. But just because the trolls are gonna get a W for a fucking pedophile being banned, we gotta have a 24-minute segment of him trying to weasel himself out of this situation. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
I cannot accept that it is just like trying not to give the trolls a W that's motivated all this defense of Derek. It can't be just that. There has to be something else here. There's got to be something more going on. It can't just be like, I don't want to give the detractors a W, so I'm going to keep this pedo in my community. It can't just be that.
So when someone says, do you disavow pedophile, there's one correct answer, and every other answer you have is incorrect. And the correct answer is yes, I do. Okay, so let's hear once again what the Mighty King has decided to say when he says, do you disavow the pedophile Derek? Okay, let's hear it. I hope we're going to answer it directly. I mean, right? Yeah, you pretty much have to, right?
You'd hope. I don't condone.
Wait, let me. Yeah.
On little girls. If he does have playlists of little girls on his channel, he's creeping on little girls.
Yep.
Do you disavow that behavior?
Oh, absolutely, I do.
He said disavow that behavior. Okay, behavior.
So you disavow Derek then.
So then you disavow Derek. He said, do you disavow the behavior? Do you disavow Derek? That's the question. Triple P laid onto the Royal King.
Behavior?
Oh, absolutely, I do. Absolutely,
So you disavow Derek then.
Yeah, I don't condone any of that, but at the same time,
yes.
I'm not going to go out of my way to find out who everyone is or what they do outside.
Yes. So you don't then, huh? You don't disavow Derek then, huh? Go ahead, Steve.
Mm-hmm. You're not being asked to go out of your way to research everybody. This is one particular person that has been brought to your attention for a very specific reason. You're not being asked to like background check your entire fucking community.
Me and Josh have both looked at it as of yesterday, saw that it was foul and disgusting.
Correct.
And now we're bringing it to you. We're credible. Like, I'm trying to help you.
Yeah.
If you phrase it like this.
I know, but I totally understand where you guys are going.
You are totally correct that if you ban this guy, the detractors will start looking into your viewers harder. You are totally correct. That is a completely accurate assessment. But wouldn't you still not want this guy to be in your community or your audience and openly known as this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'll swing it the other way, if you it's a no-win situation. That's correct. If you don't ban him, if you ban him, then
the same fucking face he gave the side scrollers when they asked him to defend his champion stuff.
Yep.
The same expression. It's like a replay in my mind.
He can't decide what to do here. He's weighing his options here.
It's a no-win situation. That's correct. If you don't ban him, then
not a
the
no-win
detractors
situation.
will look into your other viewers.
Sorry, but
and you're completely accurate about that. But if you don't ban him, if you do nothing, then they will just continue to bring this up with an accurate line from the point A to point B.
Yes,
and it will always be there, and it will always haunt you, and people will always ask, well, why the fuck doesn't he just ban this guy if he knows about it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a no-win situation. I agree.
You're right.
But I think that one option is better than the other.
Yes.
So to answer that,
I disagree that it's a no-win situation, because in the event that he does ban Derek, he has won because he's gotten a pedo out of his community. His community is better now. So he does win in that sense. We win as well because we're like, hey, we got Derek out. Great. He's fucked off. Fuck him. But you also win because your community is doing better.
I'm not interested in what pedophiles getting any kind of positive behavior, but Philip seems very clear about making sure no negative stuff happens to Derek here. Because why? Because the detractors are going to win. So Derek gets to have this positive,
couldn't he?
Yeah.
Let's talk about another win here. There's a certain guy that goes by the name Redemption Gaming, 2017 or something, also known as colloquially Acid Face. This guy is just straight up a self-admitted pedophile, and he got completely busted multiple times to the point where he just straight up deleted all his stuff. An interesting fact about him, he stole his entire personality from Darkside Phil, straight up. People like to say that he's Dan the Man, the guy that gives DSP money, but that's not the same guy. Would like to clarify that, because that guy doesn't have enough money to give DSP. All he can do is just steal his entire streaming persona from the guy, to the point where it's hilarious. People that watch Piece of Peace, you know very well about Acid Face. But that's another guy that it didn't even take him too much effort to expose him and almost completely chase him off the fucking internet.
So there's two examples of pedophiles that seem to have found a place in DSP's chat. Because, well, you have to twist his fucking arm to ban him. I'll tell you that, as we're hearing right here.
At least in my experience.
Please.
And I'm 42 years old. I don't know how old you are, Josh, but I'm 42 years old. I've learned in my 42 years on this planet that I would much rather deal with the devil I know than the devil I don't.
I would rather deal with a pedophile I know than a random person I don't know that could do bad stuff too, I guess. Is that a fair assessment of this statement? I don't want to say anything. I don't want to take anything, I don't want to say any opinions that might not be seen as the truth here. But I would rather deal with the pedophile I know than someone else that could do other bad stuff somehow. Maybe.
But let me tell you what I've learned in my 42 years on this planet. The last 10 of which have been spent completely isolating myself from contact with other people. So I know a thing or two about groups.
And what I mean by that,
go ahead. Yeah,
it's just so patronizing, isn't it? Don't know how old you are, Josh, but I'm 42. I'm older than you.
I'm 42, Josh. I know a thing or two about pedos. I don't know if you ever heard of them. I've dealt with many.
I know who Derek is. I can't confirm or deny what you guys are saying because I've literally never looked into it.
How can you say you know who he is when you won't look into it?
Oh.
I know who he is in my chat. I know who he is as part of
that one hurts.
chatting.
That one hurts here, didn't it?
Confirm or deny what you guys are saying because I've literally never looked into it.
How can you say you know who he is when you won't look into it?
I know who he is in my chat. I know who he is as part of
This is flat out delusional, though. Like, if you look at his Twitter account, it's just straight up porn.
Okay, I believe you. You're telling me this now as a
You've been told about it by other people as well.
Neutral third party. Correct?
Even further.
Neutral third party.
Yep.
You know what? DSP used to follow Derek on Twitter.
Yes, he did.
And he stopped following him on Twitter for very, very obvious reasons. And he knows very well what the reasons are. And everybody else knows very well what the reasons are.
Derek used to email him like pictures of his, like, here's the pudding I'm having, here's like the dessert I'm having. And then he'd be in chat going, DSP, did you get my email about the dessert?
Yep.
And Phil would bring it up on screen.
So they know about each other. Let's just put it that way.
And this is the big flaw with this recent saga and all the casual viewers watching it is you need to be severely demented and having sat through actual hundreds of hours of dark side Phil bullshit and damaged your brain to such extent that you're gonna pick up on all this minute details that just points out he's completely full of shit.
It's very foul. Like Phil, this is not like, someone's kind of like an incel or weird or whatever. And
it's three playlists.
This is
like
like
hundreds of videos of just little girls doing innocuous.
He's not like someone that has a top 10 list of bad things girls do, so they suck, including your mom. He's not like one of those little things. You know what I'm saying? Not like that. It's
also
not
somebody who was like, don't go cruising for 14-year-old girls at the mall. We've got a fighting game tournament.
That's little. That's child's play. Oh, bro, excuse me.
What was that forum post that you posted on Twitter about like how young girls he thought they were attractive, but you needed to like hold yourself back or something? I remember reading this the other day, but it might have been like really early in the morning, so I don't remember. I will show that to
you here in a second. Here, a lot of action here, so I'll get that ready for you. That was super old from SRK, but it is troubling, to say the least. Here, let's keep playing the video. Yeah,
it's crazy. Somebody would just straight up say that on a public forum somewhere.
Okay, so I have it here.
Even if you're like an anonymous person, nobody can track you down. But that's like, wow, it's wild.
Okay, so it's really small, so I'll just blew it up. Darkside Phil's responding to somebody, says, yep, it sucks. When you're young enough to go out with underage girls, they only want older men. Then, when you're older, all the underage girls want you. So tempting, but must resist. Sees bars surrounding him, though. And that was
what's the date on this?
The date on this is 2002, so we're dealing with a 20-year-old Darkside Philip at this time.
Ooh, bro.
I do. As Steve alluded to, there is also a post of older than 18 Philip saying we can only scope 14-year-olds at the mall for so long about a fighting game tournament. So it's just let you know the facts. I'm not making anything up. These are facts that are public on the internet. Go ahead, Meerkat.
For the life of me, I just hope he said this to seem cool, because guys that are not cool usually say that.
I hope so.
But wow, 14.
I honestly think it was that kind of trying to be. This is what hip cool guys do. I think. I hope. But all right.
You would think. It's genuinely fucking creepy.
Well, if this is what you guys are telling me, then yeah, I'm going to ban him.
Let's go. Yeah, honestly,
hold on. The devil. That was the devil I knew. You understand?
He had such an easy, like, even this W is unearned. It's an unearned W here for Philip to, like, at this point be beaten down enough to agree to it. Even then, he has to hold on. Hey, well, guys, hang on. One more thing. It's incredible. It's amazing. Look.
This is what you guys.
This is the exit ramp right here. Yeah, guys, the king did it. Off with his head. But no, it's not off with his head. It's but.
You're telling me then, yeah, I'm going to ban
Also,
it.
again, it's doing the thing where it's like, okay, if this is what you are saying, as in, if you're telling the truth, if you're right, like he doesn't know, like this is the first time he's learning it, when he knew. He's been told multiple times about this and has had plenty of opportunities to deal with it. But here he's like, well, if it's true, then okay. If I've got no other choice and you are telling the truth and this is what it is, when he knows, he's been told.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
So real quick,
Also,
go ahead.
I don't get the Warski hype for this. Is this something that you should be really hyped for? If some pedophile getting banned, is that a crazy celebration moment? I guess after 12 minutes of having to convince the guy,
I guess after 6 years of being told. Yeah.
All right. So
because you're glad, okay, finally this is over. We convinced them to ban the pedophile. Whoa.
So I've realized some people out there might not know about the 14-year-old thing, so I have that up because I want to show all the proof here. This is from tophaters.com, 2003. There's a 21-year-old Philip, and these are his words from his website that is still archived to this day. I know it's very small, but you can read it yourself here. I'll just read it for you. So this is from his website. It says, when that gets... So we're talking about what to do. We're going to play Marvel's Capcom 2, which has about 360 sticks and Jap buttons. This is... Don't rate them on that. The fighting communities use those words like they're nothing. So the Jap buttons. When that gets boring, and we're bored of being mall rats chasing around 14-year-old chicks, we'll head over to What's Your Game in Bridgeport. Okay? So those are his words from his own website. There you go. Okay. So you can come up with your own conclusions. Is that a joke? Is he trying to be cool? I just want to make sure I show all the receipts.
He was 21 years old at the time, talking about chasing 14-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, bro.
All right, let's keep moving on here till we get. So I just want to hear one more thing we got to hear before we move on here.
Hold on. The devil. That was the devil I knew. You understand?
Yeah.
So I could deal with that. I know how to deal with this guy. Talks a lot in the chat and whatever, and it's annoying to certain people. And I got to hear people talk about what he does in his personal life. But now when I ban him, now I got to deal with the devil I don't know. What's the next person who's now going to get harassed by my detractors? And I don't want this to be like Phil's viewer hunt.
I understand that, but I think regardless of what you do, your viewers are going to get harassed.
And they're still going after your other viewers, dude. They still
this happened before.
Like,
there were whales on the DSP channel who got doxxed.
I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Let's talk about OIC, people doxing OIC, and I want to see...
They didn't, as far as I know.
Yeah, you're talking about some kind of
on that forum about
one member of his
whales.
Some whale was doxxed. I can't remember who or whatever.
That's not like the exception to the rule. That's literally what happens every time a whale shows up to support me. They get doxxed on your forum,
and that's why the Derek thing doesn't matter, because it's like they're gonna be pieces of shit no matter what. And honestly, like we're telling you right now, I swear, Phil. We've been as nice as possible. I gotta say, this Derek guy is twisted.
Yes,
like
it's just bad news, Phil. And you gotta get rid of this guy. Like you didn't know until today, but now you know. And I'm just telling you, man.
All right, so they're kind of still convincing him. I want to get to the Philip's last word here because we got to move on here. So right about here is good.
I'm not being sympathetic.
They're still convincing him.
It's because my detractors
they're still convincing him.
Stalked the guy
still
to figure
convincing
out the information. I'm not being sympathetic to what he's doing. I'm sympathetic to 100%. The fact that this guy never did that in my chat. And then the rules now are going to become, now if you ever do anything that's deemed immoral.
If you do anything that's deemed immoral. If you do anything that's
how it works
immoral,
anyway. You're in a group, like any sort of like subculture. You're in like a metal group or something like that. All your mates are doing metal, and then it turns out one of you is a nonce, and you find that out, and you're like, right, let's get rid of him. That's how it works with every group.
Just to be clear, Philip is worried about if they find something else that's immoral about a viewer, that'll be a negative again. That's a negative thing.
Removing these bad people from your group. That's good.
See, that's a pretty good positive right there, Philip. The detractors are taking care of the creeps in your chat. If you think about it,
your job, yeah.
Yeah.
Phil might ban you from his chat.
The pedophilia
and I don't want
sort of
people
like
to think that.
surpasses a lot of immoral stuff, in my opinion. And also, we have a lot of viewers here. If someone went and found something on one of the viewers and it was like they're fucking, pedophile, this, that, the other, we'd surely ban them without even a thought, right? Yeah. Especially if it came out to be true. And you're like, okay, this guy, and it's not like it's like a rumor. It's this guy on his main channel. You click view channel and he's got it open. Like he's like, here it is, guys. And we really think that I know what you're saying, that your detractors will be crazy and psychotic and go after other people, but they'll do that anyway. And I'd respect you a lot if you just got rid of him. And it sort of puts a precedent to I will not let people who believe in the shit in my chat.
I'm just saying the proof is like overwhelming. Like it's undeniable when you look at it. It's just too overwhelming to deny. So
done. All right. So
why is he clapping? Why is he clapping? Why do we need to clap for this?
We've been talking for 17 minutes now. We've been convincing him for 17 minutes to, I don't know, not collab with someone he doesn't like, not to, I don't know, do a IRL stream, to ban a pedophile. It's taken 17 minutes of this. Let's keep going.
Here's my final statement. Quickly, very quickly. Please. Like when he's there, like going, okay, I know, you're right. It's like when you're a kid, you're getting told off by your parents because you were playing out and you went somewhere you shouldn't, or you pinched something from a shop or something, and you get told off, and you're like, you're gonna get punished, and this is gonna happen, and this, and you're like, okay, I know you were wrong. Do you know how much you've insulted? Do you know how much hurt you've brought to this family? Your mom's really upset. I know. Okay.
I know.
You are going to be grounded for a month. You are going to be tidying in your bedroom every day. You are not going to have any dessert after tea.
I know. I just shouldn't have punched him.
Doing exactly that.
On it, it makes me sad for two reasons. Number one,
okay, this is the last thing because we've got to move on here. But this is my favorite part of it. Okay, this is the most not favorite. It's the most insane part of it. So 17 minutes have passed. We had the first admission, but then we said, well, I'm not sure because of this. Then finally he gets the admission. And what are the first words he say? What are the first words he says after this?
I mean, I'll be honest. Here's my final statement on it. It makes me sad for two reasons. Number one,
it makes me sad for two reasons. It makes me sad for two reasons about, once again, banning a pedophile. I don't know what else we can say.
It's almost inconceivable. Yeah. So like your mind just like, nah, I'm not accepting this. Get out of here.
Holy shit, man. All right. Well,
it makes me sad to know that this guy does all that shit because I heard it for like 2 years.
And by the way, even in the next whoa, let me play that. I was talking over it. Hold on, let me hear this.
Oh, I mean, I'll be honest. Here's my final statement on it. It makes me sad for two reasons. Number one, it makes me sad to know that this guy does all that shit because I heard it for like 2 years now.
Can you imagine saying that to the people who you've just said? This is the first time I'm hearing that from you right now.
Guys.
And the look on his face as well.
Guys.
So after.
Sometimes it writes itself. He started this bit with I know nothing about him and finished it with people have been telling me this for years.
And I'm sad about that.
Bro. And he only didn't listen because he didn't like those people. That's the funniest part. It's like, yeah, he might be a fucking pedophile, but I don't like you, so I'm not gonna ban him. But now that my friends are telling me this, I'm gonna trust them.
People have been telling me this for years.
And I'm just like, it's just the detractors, right? Maybe they're exaggerating, they're making it up. And I made a philosophy. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna.
Brian told you as well, and Brian is not a detractor, though he might be now.
Look into it, because if I do, I've broken my own moral code that I'm not gonna look and stalk and harass.
All right, let's move on. So
broken my own moral code.
Oh yeah, let's hear that again. Sorry.
Into it, because if I do, I've broken my own moral code that I'm not gonna look and stalk and harass my own viewers. So that's why I haven't done it until today.
Okay.
I think there's a difference between I'm not going to stalk and harass and look into my viewers, and I need to check out the accusations that people are making about this guy, because they're quite concerning.
I don't want to break my own moral code by banning a pedophile. That would break my own moral code. Okay. I just want to be very clear on this. Okay.
Guys have said this to me. I believe you. I don't think you have anything to gain by lying to me. So I will be banning him when he shows up, because undoubtedly he's going to show up in my chat this week, and I will ban him on all of my channels. Okay, that's
a righteous decision, King.
So then it turned into, yes, Philip's making the right decision, but lost in the sauce here is that Philip both lied once, saying he didn't know anything about him, and yet I've been telling this for 2 years. And also having to be beaten down for now 17 minutes and 33 seconds until he agreed to do it. And the first words after doing it were, "I'm sad."
For two reasons. Not just one.
The King of the Ring has the right to request things, and he requests that he's about to say "but." So hold on, let's hear this "but," and then we got to move on.
This week, and I will ban him on all of my channels. Okay, that's
a righteous decision, King.
Okay.
Here's why I'm sad. All right, to be honest with you guys.
But
from what I know of the guy in my chat, he actually was like a good person in the chat.
He's nice.
Oh my god, he's a nice guy. He adds nice comments. I mean, he's needy. He always asks the chat, "Hey, talk to me. Why is he not talking to me?" Right? But he has very nice positive comments.
He brings explain that. What does that mean?
But Phil,
well, he needs attention. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the...
talk positive about the pedophile, right? Phil?
No, I'm not. No, I just understand.
Philip wants to give him a good send off. Let's not remember the good things Derek did, guys. Let's not forget it.
Like, it fucking blows my mind because nobody liked this guy. This guy would show up and people in his chat, actual DSP fans, would say "Good night, Derek." En masse. Like a wall of "Good night, Derek's." And every time he started spamming, they would tag DSP. He would ignore him. And this guy is not like any, like a YouTube channel or something that DSP kind of has to respect because they're in the same community or something. Like, people unanimously dislike this guy. And he spends 20 minutes back and forth before banning him. But, yeah, I'm going to ban him. But it makes me sad. But, yeah, I'm going to ban him this time. But he was kind of a nice guy.
It's incredible. And I wish I could say this is the only time Philip has decided not to take action against a pedophile. There was also a member of the FGC known as Mr. Wizard who used to be in charge of the Evo. Okay, and I want to be clear, this could be a tale of Philip's own weaving to try to be a bigger deal than he actually was. But in Philip's own words, I put it on Twitter if you want to see it. I'm not going to bring up the clip. He said, "Everyone knew Mr. Wizard was doing this weird shit to kids. No one said anything." Okay? I didn't, and that includes him. So again, everyone knew about it. Philip knew about it, but he did not say anything. No one spoke up about it because everyone knew what he was doing. Everyone knew it. It was kind of an inside joke. So much different than this defense here of Derek, but just want to get that out there, that you can check my Twitter if you want to see the clip on that, because he talked about that for a while. Everyone knew about it, and then all of a sudden, after he got banned from Evo, he got a lot stronger on that stance. Like, "Oh yeah, he's an asshole. Should be out of here." But yet you said everyone knew about it and everyone chose not to do anything. So anyways, let's just play the rest. I think it's almost over news here.
If you separate that, because that was been my philosophy.
He's caught candy for the kids.
When you guys showed up to the chat, he came with this entire van full of candy. It was so nice.
This is like you know someone for a while, and you only know, like, so let's say you have you're at work, and someone at work is someone you're
trying to defend
it. And you're
it.
like, wow, they're a nice guy. Then you find out 2 years later that this guy's a scumbag, like something like this. That's the feeling.
They say you stop hanging out with them.
So if you separate the pedophilia from the person, you get a good person. Sounds good? If you take all the pedophilia stuff, he's really cool. So I want to keep him around, actually.
Yeah. And by the way, shout out Some Gator for the $2 super chat, who says something very relevant to this topic. He basically did the opposite with Tevin the criminal, the quote-unquote drug dealer. Because, yeah, people are saying he has a pretty cool personality and he's a chill guy, but, you know, he steals my content, so he's basically a drug dealer and a criminal. And he also did the same thing with his trolls when they proved that his catfishing attempt was actually people trying to scam him, and he didn't actually have an escort. And he basically was like, yeah, well, they proved it was true, but they're also fucking harassing me and they're trolls.
So again, I know that Phil talked about his moral code, but the only moral code he holds is not letting the detractors win. And more important is keeping a pedophile around because he's a nice guy. If you take away all that pedophilia stuff, he's really nice. So, sound good?
This is like just unbridled narcissism because obviously for whatever reason he benefited from Derek. He felt like Derek gave him something nobody else was. He was like your genuine fan, like Meerkat said. He was the one who was there all the time, talking all the time and interacting all the time, blah, 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 blah. For whatever reason, Phil kept him around. And like normally, Phil gets it's obvious what Phil's getting from people. It's usually money, but sometimes it's like food or sources or supplies or whatever. But here he's like, I'm keeping this guy around because what he gives me is so valuable to me. I mean, it's so important to me that it's worth fucking off the rest of the community rather than getting rid of him. It's just, and even here when they're like, yeah, but Phil, it's bad, and he's like, yeah, I know, but he was good at this. Fred West murdered several people, but he was good at like laying your garden path. He could. Do you pay him?
He's a great athlete, but
well, I'm going to get rid of him because I trust you.
God bless you, Phil. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Josh, give us your thoughts here, and then we'll go back to Phil, and we'll do a few more rounds of questions here.
Just real quick here. Tetrabacks.
Okay, so there you go. Moving on a little bit further in the interview here. So you got that was the craziest part of that interview. A few other good lines here, of course, though.
There. And now it's been an
I'm not being
ongoing
rude,
thing.
but is this the woman that a user from the Kiwi Farms had sex with?
Oh,
I have no
line of the year.
Kool-Aid girl, my only Kool-Aid
Line of the
girl.
year coming up, everyone.
Yeah.
No idea. I don't know.
There's a thread, and I want to say it's someone related to Cat that somebody hunted down and had sex with. Yeah, and there's pictures of it on the forum.
So,
I think I
you
banned that
see what
guy.
I mean? This is the kind of shit that shows up on my forum. It's like, what does this have to do with anything with us? We have no association with this person. We don't.
Except she's literally related to you. That's kind of the thing, Phil. I know it's crazy, but she's related to you, and that's how it kind of works. What form should we put it in, right?
It's the DSP gaming thing again. It's like, why isn't it gaming? Like, this is my forum. Why is she in here?
What he was to talk about your Stardew playthroughs, Philip? Is that what's going to go on in that forum? Come on.
To our knowledge, this person might have some issues, and so we don't want to be associated with this person. So why is any of this existing on Kiwi Farms? Is that not like the level that you would think, wow, that's kind of extreme. This shouldn't be in the Dark Side Phil forum. What does that even have to do with Dark Side Phil?
Go ahead, Josh.
I mean, I did ban them.
Yes.
But,
that person was banned for their actions.
I can't like unfuck her sister, you know? It's already
I can't unfuck her sister. Funny line. Let's see.
It's already done and posted on the internet. I can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but why is it in my forum?
And that's the thing we go to. Why is it in my forum? Where are we going to put it?
There was a lot of moments where DSP thought he got some like grand point against Null in some kind of an own and some kind of a slam dunk. And then they just start responding and it makes sense and it's, good logic.
That is,
and then all he can say is just repeat his point and just make it about some weird morality. And then it just like falls apart.
He's on this kick of trying to get like felts, that's his thing now. He has a felt in his mind. As I know it's very hard, but he has some felts in his mind, like an ending felt. So he tries to get there, but if the person has any kickback, like Meerkat said, it falls apart. But yet we still try to do the felt anyway, right? So we say it. They have a great defense. Like, but why is it in my forum? Oh well, I mean, where else can we put it? Yeah, but why is it in my forum? Okay, you can't argue with a person that just talks like that. It's like, okay, yes, can we move on?
It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me.
Yes, it does.
I mean, it's not related.
That's why the event happened because she was related to your wife.
But that's not me. It's the Dark Side Phil thread. It's not.
I mean, obviously, DSP for somebody that's been on Kiwi Farms, as he admits in this stream, doesn't really get how these threads and these forums work because a lolcow is basically a running storyline, and other people that are involved in that storyline, whenever they're a significant character, they get their own thread, and people post about them there because they're related to the main storyline, and that's just what it is for him. And there's many other people that have the thread.
It's just any forum though, isn't it? You get like, your subject bit, and then you get your sub bits where it's like each individual thread, and one will be like for Phil, it'd be like, your main thread, and then you'd have champions thread and taxes thread and all this stuff. It's just a forum.
Yeah, Frog Machine, it's a vortex for a reason. Yes, it's a vortex. You are sucked into the vortex.
Everything's swirling around.
Yeah.
I mean, in some ways it is.
Look at PPP right here. Yeah, watch his reaction to this. Philip's talking.
L thread, right?
Watch.
I mean, in some ways it is. She's married to you, and the Bible says that you become one spirit. So technically, she's joined to the forum.
I'm sorry, but no, that's where I got to draw the line, dude.
Look,
so now you're saying just because I have a public persona, that literally anyone who has ever had an association with me in my life needs to get drawn into this drama sphere. That's bullshit. Because that's a hope is what that is.
That's
before the whole cope.
Yeah. That's the funny part. Go ahead.
What he says is everyone that I've ever known, of course, the typical Burnellian extremes. But then we say they need to get involved in this. No, if people want to talk about them, you give them a space for them to talk about, so it doesn't shit up the main thread where people are talking about you, buddy.
And this is the felting I was talking about. He was going to get to no matter what obstacles Null threw in his way. This was it. I have no clue how the word cope could enter into this conversation or how it could define what Null said, but here we go.
It needs to get drawn into this drama sphere. That's bullshit. Because that's a cope is what that is. Because that having family members that you don't have any association with being drawn into drama is bullshit. Come on, Josh. Just fess up and be like, yeah, that's extreme. That definitely shouldn't have been on there.
Yeah, you're right, Phil. You felt it.
I mean,
okay.
Yeah, okay, we got it. You want your little felt? Take your felt, Phil. Yeah, you got your felt. Listen, though.
That guy should not have done that, but the fact that it happened and that he recorded it and posted it on the internet, it doesn't matter if it's on the forum or not. Like, that happened.
Okay. It could be on the internet.
All right, so Philip is on this felting for a few more times. We're going to skip past this part. Go ahead, Meerkat.
I would like to point out that people did not praise that guy.
No.
He was made fun of in that whole thread endlessly for doing this. You know, it was a funny moment, and of course the observers laughed at it because it's fucking hilarious. The Kool-Aid bath, great meme, absolutely unhinged behavior. But that guy, for doing what he did, he got ridiculed to no end.
And by the way, if you remember, just a little hype for June's documentary, June did tweet a picture of a bath with Kool-Aid in it. So just so you know, he tweeted a picture of the said Kool-Aid bath. So could we see that in the June documentary? We'll see. All right, a few more things I want to show before we move on here on this point here. Let's talk about Champions a bit, huh? Let's talk a little bit about WB Champions, a game that Philip has never played, but well, now he's played it for 7 years. It's tough to keep track of it, but now he does play it on his streams.
Yeah, I was about to say. I bet this ages well.
I wanted to ask you, ALT, since you did your stream today on WPIG, by the way, people go check it out, on the DSP Champions Conundrum, what are your main takeaways from that? What are some impressions you got?
It starts out as innocently, without any thought behind it, not thinking about detractors. He said it's not that fun. I think that was his true opinion of it. There was no negative stigma. He said it sucks. He said it's not thinking about. You don't have to think. It's a time waster. I prefer to play Final Fantasy Xavius or whatever that is. I'm saying it wrong, but whatever. But then, as the bank leaks, as we got closer to that, it became a tractor meme. The tone changed, let's say. So it was a game he played. Then he quit. He said it sucks, but he had 4 games he was playing. He quit 2 of them. Kept WWE Champions on the roster, though, of his played games. He admitted he played 4 games. Said everyone that plays mobile games, be careful. You get sucked into it. I spent money on WWE Supercard. Yeah, there was 5 at one time, too. And then...
Juggling.
Then the Discord leaks came out, I believe, at that time, which clearly showed it's him. I want to... Just for anyone that doesn't know, the proof of the Discord leaks was I wasn't too up on my lore there, but just so you know, just the Discord leaks. There was someone named down from the rafters on Discord, which the picture and let me make sure I'm saying it right here. But anyways, Philip's defense to people that found that and then were trying to get into the Discord and rag on Phil for playing the game. Philip's defense was that person used his name on accident. It just coincidence used his same name the second the game came out. Okay, but then also from that same Discord, Philip's in a different Discord room, Philip talks about Sidella with that same exact name, the same exact picture, and also people call him Phil with that. So just so you know the coincidences that have to be true in this case, the person has to be using the same exact name as DSP. They call me DSP, by the way, not Down from the Rafters. It's incorrectly. Yeah. It's they call me DSP. He has to be named Phil and also has to know who DSP is, who Sidella is, which is one of Philip's famous fans. Okay, those are all the things that have to be true if you believe Phil's "it's a coincidence," defense. And that's not even. I'm not even entering in the bank leaks into this. Don't worry about the bank leaks. Those are the three things you have to believe if you don't believe that's DSP that is Down from the Rafters, right? Anyways, also people said he was a streamer. Also, this person was a streamer. They said he has a very loose wallet. Anyways, but back to Meerkat's question. As soon as it became a detractor meme, he wouldn't mention it. Right? The game does not get mentioned. He said, yeah, I know I play mobile games. WWE Supercard, Dokkan Battle, WWE, whatever that game is. And all of a sudden he doesn't know what the game is even. Right? That's how his defense was. I don't know what the game even is, guys. And then he says, I've been addicted to games before. He kind of goes back and forth on how addicted he was. Then he says, I was playing 5 mobile games a day, daily, and it became a routine to him to play 5 mobile games a day. He did it, and I played Hearthstone. He played Hearthstone for about 2 weeks, but he's just trying to add to the evidence that's not WWE Supercard, which is very funny. And then finally, we ended the stream today with, I made a commitment to her that when she moved in, I would not be playing mobile games in any reasonable way. I have to become a real family man. Ones. Yeah, and what my main point on this is, because Philip has now admitted to playing for 7.5 years, right? He admitted that on his own streams. Why did you have to add all these commitments, right, to your lie? You could have just said, I'm not playing the game anymore. But he has to lie to the extreme possible, saying, I made a commitment to her. I got to spend time with my family. All this stuff. It's just added onto the lie to make it this huge animal that you can't fight anymore. You could have just said, hey guys, I don't play that game anymore, and it's over. But no, he said all this stuff, all these promises he made, and he talks about how tough it is, addictions and stuff are to mobile games and stuff, and how predatory they are. While he's doing it.
Yeah, he recognizes everything. Yeah, he recognizes all the predatory tactics they use, all the FOMO, like all the special events and everything. He knows them all. He knows how it all works, and he's still falling for it every time. It's mad.
And he knows why it's bad. That's what just like Steve just said. He's like a great person to deal with addicts because he knows all the games they play. Guys, let me tell you, what they do here is you get a card, and then the next month that card doesn't mean shit anymore. That's what they want you to do. These assholes. Let me get this straight. They're asking me to log in for 8 hours a day to get this card? Like there's no option to not do that? You don't have to do it, right? And addictions are very hard. I fucking know it. But Philip just had to lie his way through this one to keep doing it. And also beg at the same time, because that's the most important part. Let's not that little detail get twisted here. He was trying to beg very hard because the bankruptcy saved the house and all that shit. But it was a fun one to do, and part 2 is coming up next week. But let's go.
I had the conversation.
Sorry to derail this, but I have a quick note before we get into the
please,
the champion stuff. Notice how he brought up Jenna, something that is very tangential and completely harmless to him that was posted on Kiwi Farms. But something that he didn't bring up, which I would personally bring up if that was the case with me, is the very harmful and damaging bank leaks that were posted exclusively on Kiwi Farms. It was a Kiwi Farms exclusive article, if you want to call it that, that are not his. If you ask him, they're not even his. And if somebody posted something like this about me that wasn't even mine, that made me look like the worst fucking guy ever that lies to his audience and spends his money on all this shit that I deny spending it on, I'm not going to talk to this guy about it. I'm not going to bring it up. It would even be a big part of the conversation. But no, it didn't happen. the one time somebody brought it up, I think it was Sir Triple that brought it up. DSP made some kind of an emote as if he was going to say something, and then he stopped himself because he knew he didn't want to open that can of worms, because then he would have to explain himself, and he doesn't want to explain himself in front of 3 people that don't necessarily believe him and are pretty much convinced that those things that were posted over there are, you know, kind of true.
And he also brought up the line of, who cares if it is me? Or whatever. So I don't think it was this stream, but I think Keemstar, done the Keemstar when he said that. Even if it is me. Just like OJ said, if I did do it. yeah. If I did do it. All right, real quick. We got to move on. Fuck, 4:30.
What I might do is make a new account and just start over and
show people how you built it up.
Yeah. And show them how you build it and then play WWE champions all the fucking live long day.
I mean, that's like the serious long-term point of contention, though, is that because I think the down from the rafters account had happened during or immediately before the bankruptcy saga.
Yes, true.
So people were like, "Well, you're asking for this financial help, but it's like going to this game." Like,
yes.
Was it ever like problem for you? Did you ever have like a problemed relationship with gaming?
When you mean that, what do you mean?
So the answer to this is yes. He said it on his stream hundreds of times. He had a problem with games. He wrote about it on Twitter. He said he had 80 hours of Supercard at one time. But listen how he answers it. Not with a direct answer. What do you mean?
Ever have like a problemed relationship with gaming?
When you mean that, what do you mean? Like addiction to mobile games and stuff?
I remember you saying,
in particular with spending, not just in games.
You said about Supercard, not champions, but you said with Supercard you were kind of embarrassed.
Oh yes, then
with how much you spent on Supercard. Right?
That is correct. Supercard. It was like about a year, 2 years where I was spending on the game and playing the shit out of it. And it was like, I definitely was addicted to it. You know, I'll admit it now. I was playing the fuck out of it for no reason. To win an event in Supercard, you had to play for like 8 hours straight without even interrupting. I would be like, I'd be streaming and I have to keep tapping the screen when I'm streaming.
Did we talk about this on the podcast? Did he actually won the last Champions event?
Yes, he did win it. Congratulations, the king.
Legit. For the first time ever. What a coincidence. Because as we know, we all believe in coincidences. And what a crazy coincidence that DSP gets a shit ton of money out of nowhere and wins an event on Champions ranking number 1. Wow.
But
and I think that very same day, he posted a weird emotional tweet about seeing the light in the end of the tunnel, and finally people see him for who he really is and shit like that. Wow, crazy coinkydink.
Finally first place. Fuck 4th place. We're first place now, bitches.
Fucking play the fucking thing. That's how stupid these games
are. By the way, that's new lore, by the way. He just admitted to while streaming gameplay, he would be tapping on Supercard. He never said that before. He did say 80 hours in 2 weeks, but not that part.
8 hours straight?
Yeah. In order to win, you would have to be a nut job, basically, to get it.
Oh, dude.
And guess what? Guess what the best card I ever got was?
What?
Hogan.
Let's go.
Let's get those Hogans, brother. The greatest wrestler of all time who's helping make America great again, brother.
Right. Yeah. But here's the thing. I've made a lot of bad financial decisions.
You got the point. He's going to say that. Yeah, you think? So Andy here's going to bully Philip into saying, just say it's a lie and say it's you. Very similar to the side scrollers trying to get Philip to say it's him, you know, to talk about this. Another very similar side scrollers point brought up here. I know this wasn't like side scrollers, but was kind of as well. Okay, one more thing here. Null asks, what's changed, Philip? Because it doesn't seem like anything's changed except for the money. So what has changed, Philip? Come on.
Actually, more important than that is to finally be treated with some level of human respect. I didn't ever get treated with dignity for about a decade. You know, like I'm going to have a discussion with Review Tech USA and he says he wants to have a real discussion. Come to find out I can't talk with him unless I'm trapping him and having a conversation about all this fucked up stuff. You know, it's like, why can't I just have a normal human conversation with someone?
Do you consider this a normal human conversation so far, Philip? I would like to know that. But okay.
Yeah, they had to spend 17 minutes trying to get you to ban a paedophile from your community. That's not quite the content of a normal discussion, is it?
Not really, no.
What did I do that I can't be respected like a normal person? Why can't I go on side scrollers and be a normal guest like everyone else? Why was I treated like some kind of a fucking criminal that needed a 5-hour interrogation instead?
Because you're not normal.
Yeah.
They spent 30 minutes
You
doing
look
the same
at your
thing.
behavior.
This is after the 30 minutes we spent treating him like a criminal for keeping Derek in his own community without banning him. But okay, yeah, go ahead.
And that's what I feel like the turnaround is happening right now, where people are seeing me in a different light, a positive light, rather than this negative attacking light. And that feels amazing. It's a huge weight lifted off my shoulders, because I have tried so hard in the last decade to change as a person and be a better person. I feel like I've done that, but no one wanted to acknowledge it because they just wanted to continue the meme of hate on Phil. So yeah, I would say that there's a turnaround.
What do you guys think Worski is listening to? Because he's nodding his head like he's listening to some banger beats. Like for the last 30 seconds or so, man, that's been some great nodding.
She did nothing wrong. I want you free.
Around in more ways than one. And I'm really, really grateful to everyone involved, you guys and all the viewers and everyone out there, my fans who've been along these 10 tough years. It's all because of everyone. It's not just me. It's not,
And he legitimately, and I can't emphasize this enough, thinks we are at the peak and there's no going down. There's only one way we're going here, boys, and that's up. The king is continuing his reign from here on out, and it's all sunshine and rainbows for the rest of the way. Last point here, just a quick thing.
Yeah, I hope that you're at a point in your life, like you said, I think you said you were 30 years old. You're at a point in your life when you're going to realize, at least from my perspective, that it's just not worth it.
He's trying to get this is another try to get a felt on Null here.
I think you said you were 30 years old. You're at a point in your life when you're going to realize, at least from my perspective, that it's just not worth it. And that you'll be able to put down the monster before the monster puts you down. I really hope that, because it doesn't seem to me like you're a bad guy from the conversation we've had today. I just think that we're at different planes of existence morally. And I would hate to see that site be the end.
Oh, you can. You're right about that, Philip. Because Null said he would ban Derek right away, and you decide to defend him for 20 minutes. So you're right about that point, actually.
Of you or your happiness in life because you let it go too long or too far. All right. I'm not going to be the guy who's going to come after you for anything. I don't go after my detractors. You're never going to see a lawsuit from Darkside Phil. I'm not a fucking asshole. All right.
Okay.
But I am worried from the shit that's been going on that's going to be the end of you. And at some point in your life,
go ahead.
This dude has straight up said multiple times in the past, if I was rich, I would sue all my trolls. And the only thing stopping him is the financials.
Yes.
He said this many, many times before.
Oh, so we have him or somebody acting on his behalf has struck down detractors numerous times.
Yeah.
We're not done with legal side Phil today. Let's go.
You may have to draw that line and be like, it's not worth it anymore. I got to stop. And it might be the best decision in your life to do that and to kill the monster before it gets too late. I think you should think about that. I'm not saying you have to do it today or tomorrow, but I think it's something you should seriously soul search and think about because it might be best for you. And for a
fucking cringe.
lot of other people as well.
I don't remember asking. That's what you should have said. Anyways, let's go. Yes, please delete the Kiwi Farms because the king proclaims it. No. Definitely. All right, so there we go. That was the Null interview. We spent a lot of time there, but it was definitely worth it. Keemstar interview. So let's get your big thoughts here, Meerkat, about the Keemstar interview before we get into that, all right? What's your, big picture thoughts about the Keemstar interview? And I only have one clip to play from this because then we got to go to the next topic. Go ahead.
Big picture. DSP was there to give Keemstar the pre-stream, and Keemstar was there to get DSP on LOLCOW Live, and it failed miserably.
Yes.
Absolutely destructive. But again, like I said, watching hundreds of hours of DSP, the brain damage that comes with it, but this is what makes it rewarding. Because I've sat through maybe 10 hours at, all combined of Darkside Phil, basically making Keemstar look like the worst guy ever. He was basically a fucking slave owner, the way DSP described him. Blood money, milking humans, all that stuff. He was basically the CEO of the slave trade.
Oh,
and now he called him sir. And in the end, he said, I wish you the best, Sir Keem. I lost my shit in the end. I was laughing so hard right at the end when he said, okay, Keem, well, thanks for being the first guest on the Level 1 podcast. I wish you all the best. But before he did that, he basically just straight up told him he's not coming on LOLCOW Live, and Keemstar seemed to be crushed.
Yeah, it seemed
that was
like
his whole idea.
That was the whole idea of coming on the show, and then once it didn't happen, he's like, all right, fuck it. I will say that Philip was trying to get some felts. The felt that Philip was going for here was that the show is scripted. So similar to Null, we're not going to play it here. If you want to watch it, go ahead. But the thing was that he was trying to say that the show is scripted. He was asking Keemstar about it, right? And Keemstar was giving him very, very well thought out answers, explaining how it's not scripted, even shooting back saying, well, hey, you plan your game, so we plan the things we're going to do. So it's kind of like not scripted. But Philip would a sign of a bad interviewer is someone that doesn't adapt to what the other person is saying to them. So when the person, not to drop too much fucking interview lore on you or interview tips on you, but when the person that you're interviewing's answer, you don't care about the person your interview's answers, that makes the people that are listening don't care as well. So every time Philip asks a question, Keemstar would come back with great points about this and this and this. And then Philip would go back with, yeah, but anyways, it's scripted, right? No, I just told you that it's not scripted. We plan events and that doesn't happen. Yeah, but it's scripted, right? And then Keemstar was not having it, and that was the end. And he was trying to get the felt again for Keem to admit that it's, it's fake, it's scripted, but he wouldn't happen. But Keemstar did say this, which I sent, really spills the beans on where Keemstar puts DSP in his own mind. Okay, so this one clip here I thought was interesting. It's not like insane, but just interesting.
At the tweet,
right? But now, go ahead.
But to tell you, it's not scripted. It really isn't scripted. I know it's insane. I know it's absolutely insane when you watch our show, and you would think, anyone would think, okay, there's no way this is real. But Boogie is insane. Like, he's a crazy person. Wings is a crazy person. You are a character, right? Like,
I like that. Wings is a crazy person. Boogie is a crazy person. You are a character. But yeah, he's not done yet. Hold on.
Say I'm a crazy person if you want. It's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to sugarcoat it.
Well, some people would say that you're crazy, right? But the reason why the three of you are so popular in these big exposed documentaries from the commentary community is because you're characters. You're truly entertaining. Maybe not in the way where you have 10,000 concurrent viewers and you have 1 million subscribers, but there is so much value that you guys have, but you're not self-aware of that value, right? But other people that watch.
So it's a long way, a lot of words to say you're a lolcow. I thought was interesting. Yeah.
What you are, and that's why you get clipped, and that's why you're in this documentary.
Yes.
I'm able to look at Wings and Boogie and yourselves and see the value, and that's why I was like, bro, a show, lolcow live, it would crush, right? We just had Kino Casino the other day, right? Who saw the value in the DSP interview, right? They saw the value.
I hate to break it to you, but when people use words like I saw the value in you, it's not really a friend kind of style thing, is it? That Philip hopes it is. I see the value in you. Steve of the Dead, I see the value in you. That's why we got you on the show, because I saw the value in you.
That I want to exploit in you.
Yeah.
Yes. Especially when it comes from Keemstar. When he says that, you know what he's talking about. We're not talking about value to the company you bring in producing, generating value for the shareholders. We mean views, pal. We're talking about views.
So yeah, that's what Keemstar was doing. Keemstar's kind of fadeaway point was do more collabs, and Keemstar is right for asking that, because more collabs mean more great stuff for us to enjoy. So that's why that was Keemstar's kind of fadeaway point, but. It was a very big entertainment miss for me. Meerkat, you seem to enjoy yourself a little more because it was all the hypocrisy, but...
Yes. And also, one of my favorite moments, hands down. You guys remember how one of the biggest complaints DSP had with the way Keemstar talked to him and offered him that 50 grand is that he didn't reach him through the proper method of communication.
Yes.
Well... Womp womp. It was all a joke. It was a razz. DSP was just playing hard to get, and he just straight up admits it and laughs it off. And he was complaining about this for so long.
He complained about that.
A combined hour plus of him talking about how Keemstar didn't talk to him through an email that said, "Dear Phil," and ended with "Kind regards, your buddy Keemstar."
Yep.
I'm just here on this stream doing my thing, and I hear, "Oh, he's shouting at you on Twitter. You know, he's trying to get in touch with you and all this." Like, yeah, DM the fucker. It's not that hard.
He bitched
Also,
about that yeah, go ahead.
If this is true and Keemstar abused his connections on YouTube to demonetize Duty, that's fucked up. That's below the belt.
Yep. I don't know where that's is Duty trying to get monetization back or whatever? Is getting reviewed or whatever? I don't even know. But Keemstar went on. Yeah, that's another thing we kind of got to skip over because there's so much shit today. But Keemstar went on Duty's stream to talk about because him and Duty have history because Duty clipped a 25-minute clip of Lolcow Live and Keemstar didn't like that. Obviously, it's just a 25-minute clip of here's the show, and you have a right to say I don't like that. You know what I mean? At the very least, Keemstar has a right to bring that up. And that's their history. And then Duty was talking about copyright again, and Keemstar got on. But you know what Keemstar was doing, guys? He was trying to get hype for the interview he's doing with DSP. Say what you will about Keemstar, he is a hype building machine. He likes to build a hype about events, things he's going to do. He knows how the internet works, and that's what it is. But yeah, if he did abuse his context, that is fucked up. Anyways, Steve, any thoughts on the Keemstar interview from your mind before we move on here?
I remember it being a bit more of a disappointment than the Null one was. I think I joined the Null one at the right time. It was just as they were about to start talking about Derek, and I thought, yes, this is good. But the Keemstar one felt a lot more tedious. Just going over old shit and going, I'm sorry I said that. Oh, I said that. Let me apologize for that. Yeah, I didn't mean this. I meant that. Mm-hmm. It was a slog to get through.
Yeah, and that's what the thing. That's what Craig is going to have a tough job too if he's by himself, because it's tough one-on-one when you're the one being asked the questions to cut off the interviewer, right? But if I'm asking the questions, I can cut you off, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, well, I already asked about that, so let's go to the next question. But if Keemstar is being asked questions from DSP, Craig has got to forcefully fight through the filibustering of and that's gonna be a tough job. You got to be forceful on that, because otherwise it's gonna be it's gonna be dull.
I remember the first 20 minutes was just DSP asking Keemstar a question and proceeding to just talk about his trolls. It was like DSP interviewing Keemstar about DSP. It was the weirdest thing because for he framed this as, I'm having my first ever guest on the Level 1 podcast, and I'm going to prove the side scrollers this is how an interview should be done. And then he just talked about himself the whole time. And he asked Keemstar a couple of questions about Lolcow Live, 2 or 3, and most of them were just paraphrasing what he previously said, but framing it as if other people were saying this. Like, Lolcow Live is fake, which is something DSP talked about. They did talk about when DSP said that Lolcow is fake, and clearly that wasn't. It was more of a PSA and not just his opinion or his take. And then Keem threatened to sue him, and everybody knew that he wasn't going to sue him, but it was pretty funny. Then DSP put that disclaimer in his description of the video that everything you hear on this podcast is just and solely my opinion and is not backed by any facts or evidence. And that was a great segment.
I'm happy you put that on there, Phil. I was like, come on, Keem. Come on, that changes anything. You put a little disclaimer there. I was like, come on.
Yeah, and I just want to see the last 2 minutes.
Okay, please.
Where they're just having the send off. And when DSP tells him, thank you, sir, for stopping by. I wish you all the best. And it's like, how are you going to wish him all the best? You made him look like the worst guy ever for the last 2 years.
Yep. All right, so here's the last 2 minutes here.
Real.
Died because...
Oh, my...
this
people
is the plan.
Used to say to me...
The plan joke was, is your beard dyed? The worst plan jokes in the universe. Okay, here we go.
Right. My beard would be fully gray, right?
Yeah. Look at me. People used to say to me, Phil, your beard is patchy. I was like, do you not understand what age is, you idiot? My beard is getting white. I'm older now. It's not that I have holes in it. I'm fucking old, dude. People age and people choose to do things differently. I said, I'm not going to cover nothing up. I know I'm losing my hair. I'm not going to fucking shave my head or wear a hat. I'm just gonna let it look. And so people criticize my looks. They're constantly
because you're lazy.
You grow the beard out, you dye it. It's your thing though. It's your trait. It's the thing that's notable about you. When you think Keemstar, you think the beard, right?
I like
the black beard, and that's why I dye it. And the same thing with the hat. I always wore hats. Like over the last couple of years, I've been wearing like bandanas and whatnot, and just because they're more comfortable. But I really shouldn't. I should always have a hat on. It should be relatively a black hat, and I would love that conversation.
He's saying Keem tried to push him to get on talk to Review Tech USA was there.
You know what it is? I just shred him. It's like listen. I've been there. I've been the subject of that kind of shit so much that it's like I know that hurt him. After 10 years of abuse he gave me, I finally gave it back to him, and it's like I kind of said my piece, and yes, I'll reference him in my content and joke a little bit, but I don't know how it's going to benefit him. I mean, he probably would think it would benefit him, but also, I mean, let's be honest here, Keem. Has you seen him recently? Like, he's barely coherent when he's even making fun of him. This is he's doing
that's true. Like a red DSPW right there.
Everyone thinks this. Everyone agrees with that point.
I mean, it's hardly the hottest take, but still.
Here we go.
Suggestion. I will take
we do have before we move on from the Review Tech thing.
Yeah.
I posted a screenshot to a DSP tweet in the Discord. So if you can pull that up.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, Review Tech USA, he's trying to do the whole gimmick where you pretend nothing happened and just business as usual type of thing. And still try and dunk on DSP, even though DSP is now Review Tech USA's dad. Like that whole Kino Casino collab stream where they watched the June the King thing, it did irreparable damage to Review Tech USA.
But this one, right?
Yeah.
By the way, this is Philip's second response to this. He responded to it before this with the take. An hour later, he thought of this is even better, and then he did this one as well. But he said, I don't even think about that guy. He did a response. If you don't believe me, I'll show it to you. Then he did this one with the brony, which he later would apologize for because he said, sorry, guys, I didn't know about the brony with the Felton. He apologized for the picture he chose. Sorry, guys.
I gotta give it to him. I'm gonna read this out for the people listening. So Review Tech USA makes a tweet saying Happy International Women's Day and at They Call Me DSP and posting a photo of DSP kissing cat, which is a grotesque photo. But then the king responds by saying the best part about this dunk from Review Tech USA is that if I try to respond in kind, it wouldn't be fair because it would just be Rich standing alone because I have a loving wife and he does not, which is objectively true. And I have to say, this dude, this is what I've been asking for. I want this guy he's a purebred, he's a born hater. He's just born to hate on people. And he spent so long pretending that he's this nice, kind guy with morals and principles when this is his calling in life. And then he posted a My Little Pony Get Felted meme that completely ruined the whole dunk.
But I mean, like, this guy has always been there. This guy is the guy that we've seen posting on forums and joining Alphaism Radio. This is proper midlife crisis stuff. He's reliving his glory days.
Yeah.
He's going through a midlife crisis. This is fucking incredible.
What did Kino say? Oh, I got it right here, I think. I'll be Sam for a second. Listen to this. Triple P put it best, I believe. Here we go. Triple P, please.
I don't know what to tell you, but you better start believing in midlife crises because you're in one, Phil.
I know it was low, but you got it. Better start believing in midlife crisis, Phil, because you're in one. Okay, anyways, let's go on to what the LOL suit. The LOL suit is our last topic for the day here. And so... Super Crazy is a person that's making videos about DSP for a long time. He made a video saying, I want to come after DSP legally, is what it said. And DSP on his stream brought it up. And it was very quickly clear that DSP did not watch this video in any way. Okay? So, I'm going to show you the everything here. This is my favorite part of today's stream, I think. So here we go. I want to tell you a little story here. Okay, I'm going to bring you to a little story, and then we can react to that afterwards. So here's the first telling. Super Crazy is telling us about how he had a video taken down, and it didn't show who took it down. But then he got a second video taken down, and it did show who took that one down. But this is the beginning of the video here, and listen to Philip's words very carefully. I don't want you to take anything out of context here. Let's go.
Way to know who actually did it. But
I just want to have a quick disclaimer.
Please.
First of all, DMCA striking people is bad, and you're a bitch if you do it. I would never do it. I would not encourage people to do it, and don't do it. It sucks. That being said, I don't like Super Crazy.
Yes.
I recently, today and this morning, I had a Twitter beef with him, which was very entertaining to me. But I'm not going to involve you guys in it because you have nothing to do with it. And I do this shit for very entertaining purposes. And when I'm watching this video, I'm going to be as objective as humanly possible and fair to everybody involved.
I don't know. It was news to me about Super Crazy's history with the law, let's say. I didn't even know about that. So there he goes. In any case, ignore that. It doesn't matter to our story here. I promise you it's funny enough. Whoever the other person is in this story, in this case, is Super Crazy. Here we go.
If he's insinuating it's me, it's not me. I actually don't even know how to report something like that.
He's insinuating it was me. It was not me. I don't even know how to report something like that. All right? I really don't want to be annoying, but I just want to play that one more time. I really apologize, guys. Listen very carefully.
No, but again, there's no way to know who actually did it. But the messed up part about
if he's insinuating it's me, it's not me. I actually don't even know how to report something like that.
Okay, I don't know how to report something like that. Very fair, full context. Here we go. We're going to move on just a few minutes in the video, if you can believe it.
Ever claimed were direct rips and re-uploads of my content.
Philip is now watching his video and watching Super Crazy's video. And this is a video that Philip posted on his own channel about his DMCA takedown history. Okay, go ahead,
Quick
Steve.
question.
You want to say something? Yeah.
Yeah. Are these the same things that he doesn't know how to do that you just said?
Yes.
Right.
Actually, it's questionable because what we just saw was a community guidelines violation, which is when people report your video. It's not a DMCA copyright claim or a strike.
Right.
It's a different thing.
Okay.
That being said, I think he completely knows how to flag somebody's video because it's pretty fucking intuitive. You just press the flag button and you says, this is bullying. And then you click report. So he 100% knows how this works.
Nonetheless, I want you to listen very carefully to the wording here. Yeah, go ahead.
Just a quick note. He has somewhat indirectly, but I would still consider this a call to action, called for people to flag Almighty Tevin's channel on Twitch when he was making fun of DSP being demonetized or thrown out of the partner program or something. He had a whole Twitter thread about it. Basically told people, if you think this guy deserves to be on Twitch, do nothing. And if you don't think so, do something about it. Which is what DSP likes to do. He likes to make his problem everybody else's business. And we're going to hear this later on in this video.
Yep. So listen very carefully to the wording of old Phil here talking, because again, this is a video of old Philip himself that Philip put up on his own channel. Here we go.
Content with no transformative work attached to them whatsoever. Meaning, it's not this is how you don't play video. It's not a restream with commentary making fun of me. Yep. It's literally you stole my video 100%, copy paste. And that's what all those are at the top. All those that say
he's talking about raw Phil videos there, which are, you know, you could agree or not, but that's just he's posting raw Phil videos, as the name suggests, and he struck those, okay? But he hasn't mentioned the Super Crazy video yet, but he will.
February 27th, February 26th, February 28th. I believe that's the raw Phil channel. Literally all this guy does is rip my content before I have a chance to upload it because he rips it raw from my stream, hence raw Phil, and he puts it on his channel first.
Yep.
So he steals views from me. It's completely
Yep, go ahead.
This is it's a very nuanced issue because there are multiple factors that determine whether or not something is fair use, such as if it can be a replacement for the source material. So if you can watch this, if it's a movie review, if you can watch this instead of watching the movie and get still the full context, it probably isn't fair use. That's why the Nostalgia Critic back in the day used to have problems with that. He had the whole "where's the fair use" thing. Also, if it appeals to the same demographic, I believe it was one of those. In which case, Raw Phil wins the case because those people definitely wouldn't watch a DSP gaming stream because they don't like that guy. So it's very neither here nor there. But seeing how the restream, the whole gimmick was that you're getting literally the same content here, I would say this one goes to DSP.
Yeah. Okay. So that's
unless you can't watch DSP because he's banned you, so you have to watch Raw Phil.
Yeah. So very fair. Again, keep listening though. The best part's yet to come.
100% illegal.
Yeah.
100% illegal to do that. He doesn't have any legal grounds to do it. He's just as bad as duty streams. Really. Pasted it to your channel, and that's illegal. That is taking away views from my content. That is not allowed on YouTube, and it is within my legal rights to take down those particular videos and those alone. Okay? This video here was from another channel doing exactly the same thing back in January 2022. I remember this particular day, someone had reached out to me in a very similar manner and said, we found a channel that is doing this. Okay? I did the same thing. I did claims on them. And actually, in this case, with this person, after about a month or two, I said, all right, you know what? I think they learned their lesson. And
I think they learned their lesson. Okay? Very key wording here. I think they learned their lesson was the reason he took away the strike, in his own words, of course.
I retract. This is not... He's created a very paranoid narrative. He thinks I'm out to get him. He thinks that I flagged that first video for bullying, which I did not. All right? He thinks that I flagged
It's on
this
your
video
list. It's on the list. Who gives a shit the reason?
as a follow-up to the bullying, but I did a DMCA claim instead of a bullying claim. If that were the case and we're following this guy's logic, because you see the case he's building here.
Okay.
If you're following his logic, if I did a bullying claim and it worked on your first video,
irrelevant.
Why wouldn't I have just done another bullying claim against your second video? Because once you get 2 bullying community strikes, I think you get suspended for a while. Like, why would I have chosen to do a bullying claim and then a DMCA takedown? That doesn't even make sense.
I don't know. What did you just say then, Phil? Before you paused it? What were you
Let's just listen
then?
to you. You talk about Super Crazy's logic, but really we just have to listen to Philip's logic that he chose to say in his own video. I thought, but okay, let's let him explain it.
I would have done 2 of this. If the first one was successful, why not just do the same thing on the second video? What, I don't even understand what again, he's making this up as it goes along.
He's making it up as he goes along. He played a clip of Philip talking. And he's making this up as he goes along. It was just you talking. He's playing Philip talking and making this up as he goes along. All right, well, let's move later into the video here. And it comes up again in this video that teach him a lesson, which again, he said.
Right strikes. Somebody tips him and says, you copyright struck a detractor to teach them a lesson. And
okay, that's exactly what Philip said in his own words in the video posted on DSP Gaming, which is still up to this day, I believe. Okay, let's keep going here.
Let's see what Phil says.
I just want to see, because I think I do have a couple troll tips here.
Oh.
Shout out Snot Hogan, by the way.
Couldn't they fucking get better names?
Snot Hogan?
Snot Hogan. I got the snot going.
You can literally see it under the tracker bar that it's snot.
yeah.
Snot Hogan.
Huh? Oh, sorry. I paused it. Oh, Philip, are you talking or not?
No creativity at all.
No creativity.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. Just listen to this. Someone tipped me $1 and says, you struck down a commentary video. Why is this not synced? This also is not synced.
This is a very common theme in this video. He keeps bringing up production issues with the video when that is so irrelevant. Yes.
What is going on?
Hey, Phil, not everybody has fans to anonymously donate them all the equipment they need. Some people have to make do with what they've got.
I can't
So odd. Just a deflection tactic. But yeah, go ahead, Meerkat, if you want to say something.
Yeah, I mean, this guy doesn't literally edit his own videos. Like, what are we talking about?
Uh-huh.
And this bothers me. From a detractor to teach him a lesson. You've been falsely claiming videos. I never struck down a commentary video of a detractor to teach them a lesson.
Okay, well, interesting. Interesting how that really works here, because...
Ever claimed? So ever.
That's Philip.
Remember this particular day, someone had reached out to me in a very similar manner.
Listen carefully.
And said, we found a channel that is doing this. Okay? I did the same thing. I did claims on them. And actually, in this case, with this person, after about a month or two, I said, all right, you know what? I think they learned their lesson, and I retracted.
I think they learned their lesson. Okay, just want to be very clear on that. I don't want to say anything out of pocket here. Yeah, go ahead.
Guy, there's screenshots of his DMs back in 2017 or something, where he wants to take down GTG and Snord Burnell, and also is asking the guy he's texting in the DMs for other potential people who are doing this same thing, so he can strike them down as well. Let me remind you, GTG is a guy that just literally watches a clip and then talks about it extensively.
Yes.
To the point where the videos are like 2 hours long for like one clip or something. The guy talks
a lot.
Way more than enough.
Getting the Steve numbers. He's working on it.
Yeah.
You know, he's not quite there yet, but he's getting there.
Also, apparently, Iviga showed that the desync is on Phil's end.
Oh, yeah.
In the video.
That's funny.
What is it?
That's funny.
It did.
Oh, shit. Yeah,
like I said, I think this was done in error. If you listen to what I say in the video,
it was done in error.
I said, someone emailed me and said that this was a copy-paste job, so I struck it. Then
you didn't check.
So you didn't check. It was a copy-paste job, so I struck it. So I want to keep you on this logic here, just so we can keep up with the pig logic here, because I know it's difficult. I don't want you to fall for pignosis here. So let's say I was told that I need to punch Meerkat because he's an asshole. Okay, I don't check into it. I just punch him. Okay,
you would be right to do that. I don't blame you.
Then Meerkat's. Well, first I'd say I don't know how to punch anyone. I don't know how to punch anyone. What's wrong with you? Then Meerkat shows a video of me punching him, and I say, well, someone told me to punch him.
You did check why.
Yeah, you didn't ask why. So if Meerkat sues me for punching him, this is my defense. I did it as an accident. I did it because someone told me. And that's what we're doing here. That's the literal but let's keep going. We're not done yet.
Oh, shit.
And I took it back. Yeah, I took it back.
Actually wasn't. I made a mistake, and I retracted it.
Okay.
I didn't actively send anyone a takedown to teach them a lesson.
You did. It's there on your list. You're looking at it right now.
According to you, you took it off because he learned his lesson. That's what he said.
This video here was from another channel doing exactly the same thing, right? We're just saying copy pasting. I'm wrong. I'm actually misinformed. February 2022. I don't know who you're listening to. They're nuts. That's literally never happened.
Now, if you Philip is nuts.
Philip is nuts. Have I actively looked at such a video that I knew had commentary on it and tried to strike it down? I will say this.
Okay, go ahead.
In the last maybe 8 to 9 years,
irrelevant.
They said if you see your detractor
relevant to say you don't play.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Before we skip over this, can you go back to the explanation of what he said he didn't do? Because there's layers of semantics.
Okay.
Same thing, right? We're just saying copy pasting. I'm wrong. I'm actually misinformed. February 2022. I don't know who you're listening to. They're nuts. That's literally never happened. Never. Not once. Not once have I actively looked at such a video that I knew had commentary on it and tried to strike it down. I will say this. In the last
the amount of qualifiers there, yeah.
Never once have I actively, this is level 1 of semantics, actively looked at a video, level 2, that I saw had commentary on it and then struck it. 3 levels of semantics. Because the narrative is someone else randomly told him that this video was a copy-paste job, so we just took it down.
Like, it makes him look like a fucking idiot. You could just say anything to him and he'll automatically believe you. Like, Phil, this detractor's saying this thing, right? Fuck him. Like, don't check.
Last maybe 8 to 9 years. Early
don't care.
And so early on, things like control of my channel, and then, but they're not sticking. And then they're reversing them. So why are you wasting time? We're going to start doing content ID claim. Actively going out.
Now he's trying to throw Machinima under the bus. Well, Machinima did this actually. Again, Machinima has nothing to do with this. It is irrelevant. But okay.
A big React event over on my DSP Reacts channel where it was me and my history of Machinima. And
Machinima has nothing to do with this.
And this one time here, which was an error on my part, I thought that it was a copy paste job. I literally just said that in the video that he's quoting here. He's ignoring that I'm saying that.
I thought he was an asshole. Therefore, I punched him. Your Honor, the defense rests.
And then I realized my error, and
I punched him in error.
I fixed it. I reversed it. The only time that I would do a DMCA takedown is if someone blatantly copy pasted, and even then it's a rarity. Like as you saw last year, there were those ones, or was it 2 years ago? I did those ones against Raw, Phil, or whatever. I mean, Duty Streams has been doing it for how many years? I never touched him, and I knew he was doing it.
Irrelevant to this case, sir.
And Raw Phil still exists to this day, and I haven't struck him into oblivion.
Irrelevant to this case, sir.
The argument here has zero merit at all. There's
except for the fact where you admitted to doing it in error. That's the part that's kind of...
And Super Crazy showed the email that he got from YouTube saying, "Hey, you've been taken. This copyright strike is valid." Yeah.
2 more clips
and
here.
It's kind of crazy. He said he misspoke when it came down to teaching him a lesson. When this is something he said like, what, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago? It was relatively recent. It wasn't like in 2010. What do you mean you misspoke? That's a very specific thing to misspeak about. You misspeak if you say the wrong phrase, the wrong word, or something slightly different. You don't misspeak when you say something completely different to what you actually meant to say.
So here we go. This is one more clip here.
I edited transformative videos that critique, review, and offer analysis. One final thing I'd like to mention is during the video where DSP showed his flag history, he claimed later he went back and removed the copyright strike. That is correct.
Yes.
The reasoning he gave for removing the strike was he felt they learned their lesson.
Philip just read the proof right there. That's the open and shut case, right? Well, hang on. We got something to say to this.
That's just me casually saying something in a video. That has absolutely nothing to do with the reason I retracted it. I'm telling you right now, the reason I retracted it is because
Your Honor, my client was just casually saying it. He wasn't competitively saying it or saying it in ranked. Therefore, it should be dismissed from the court of law.
Your Honor, I know I said I'd tell you the truth, but I didn't mean I'd tell you like the whole truth and nothing but, you know?
Yeah.
It's just a figure of speech.
It's casually.
You know?
I just wanted you to pay attention to me more.
Realize nothing to their lesson. That's just me casually saying something in a video. That has absolutely nothing to do with the reason I retracted it. I'm telling you right now, the reason I retracted it is because I must have realized, oops, it actually was transformative. And it wasn't good on me to do that. I shouldn't have done that. I thought if you actually watched the video, you just...
I must have and I thought. Your Honor, my defense is that I think I did it this way because I sort of vaguely remember thinking that, I might have been wrong about this. Like, so I didn't actively, casually say it, but it wasn't a sort of commentary context on the stream. The fucking layers. I want him under cross-examination. It'd be fucking amazing.
Your Honor, I drink a lot of gin. Okay, so I can't remember that period too well. I must have.
Your Honor, I'm depressed.
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor.
My girlfriend had left me. I was drinking a lot. That's why I masturbated on stream.
I did this in error.
I shouldn't have done that. I thought if you actually watched the video, you just referenced it said I thought this was another copy paste job. Someone had emailed me about it, and I took it down for that information.
So you did it then. Once again, saying I did it. Okay, next.
Then realized my mistake, and I retracted it.
So I did it, but yet then detracted it. Okay.
That's what happened. It said it right there in the video, but you didn't listen.
Right there in the video, it said he's learned a lesson.
You didn't listen. He listened to your words. He listened exactly, very carefully to your words and then played them for you, which you choose to admit you did it, but...
Only thing, because you heard me say, I felt they learned their lesson. That was just an off-the-cuff comment that's not a legal statement. You're insane.
The best. This is the best. I was losing it. This was like, I think Keem had to do his shitty interview for this to happen. You know, he paid the price.
Let me ask you, what's an example of a legal statement that you can make on a live stream?
I guess if you're under oath and say, you know, on a live stream, okay, this is the honest truth, the God's honest truth. I don't know. What is it?
You have to have your hand on a Bible and like that. Anything else is just completely casual.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Not legally liable for it.
It's clear to me how that he was satisfied with me being removed from the partner program. I didn't have anything to do with that. Again, that's libel and slander. That's why he decided to remove the strike. Wrong. The problem is the MCA system is not for teaching people lessons.
Between the two, Phil?
Libel and slander.
Which between libel and slander, Phil?
Null brought that up too, by the way. Null brought that up, which is very hype. Okay, so that's kind of it.
That's correct.
I do have a legendary mic drop for us, though, of course, because we have to get the felt. So Phil, I think it's almost done to see.
That's correct. I thought I had one. Yeah. YouTube clearly tells you it's against the law. That's correct. He still went ahead and did it. You're right, and then I retracted it when I knew that it was wrong. So I knew
But you still did it. But you still did it. So this sentence by Super Crazy is actually correct, according to your own words that Philip has said today.
Corrected my error.
I corrected my error. So yes, I did punch Meerkat, but I corrected my error by detracting it. Sound
every
good?
claim I make with video evidence, wrong. You can't back up any of the claims that you have made about me the bullying claim, about getting removed from the partner program. You have no evidence whatsoever. That's libel and slander every time that
he has exact evidence of you saying I struck it because I took it away after he learned his lesson. And then Philip, your own words said I did it, but I did it in error. So
he showed his fucking email that he got from them saying, "Hey, you've been hit with this strike. We're removing you from the partner program." So you did, and he can't back it up.
Oh, Rankard, great point here. I will read all the super chats before we get out of here, I promise. Rankard says, didn't people say Derek was a pedo to Philip? By his own admission, he said people have been saying this for years, right? That was Philip's own words today we heard. And nothing was done. And someone said something about a detractor, and you just took action without checking. That is what Philip admitted today, right? So,
however, when they said that thing about Derek, that was not a legal statement.
Yes.
That was just a casual statement.
That was people casually checking his playlist and seeing young girls on it. That was casual young girls.
Legally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Not legally harassing these porn stars on Twitter.
Once we get competitive pedophile hunting, this guy is going to get cooked.
This is just an outright lie.
Okay.
I've listened to him blatantly lie about what he did for well over a year now. August 24th was the final straw. It's time to stop talking, and it's time to start learning my lesson.
So he wrote the learning my lesson again, which I do think that was a pretty good way to end it. Okay, but it's mic drop time. But these days, we're all about the felts, all right? It's all about felts. It's all about taking control. So here we go. Here's a final felt for you, Super Crazy. Hope you're ready for this, brother. Here we go.
Just drop it and refund everyone's money and walk away. I have no idea who you are. I don't care who you are. I'm not going to strike your content ever again because it was an error the first time I did it.
But you still did it.
Like I'm never going to strike your content again because the first time I did it, it was in error. So, Your Honor, the defense rests.
All right. I didn't ever hit you with a bullying claim. I didn't get you out of the partner program. That was your own doing of the content that you made.
Except for the part where you struck it. Yeah.
YouTube kicked you out of the partner program. It's because they reviewed your channel and deemed it unfit for ads.
After someone strikes the content. Similar to what you did in the red circle outlined in your own video on DSP Gaming to this day. Let's continue.
Because of the content you put out. That's not because of me. That's because of you. And you can't live with it. You can't accept it. Right? You think, oh, I don't understand. I was accepted into the partner program because no one looked at your content yet. It was automated.
Thanks to your strike, they did start looking at it.
Subs, views, and the automated criteria. As soon as they actually looked at your content, they said, this is filth. We don't want this in the partner program, and they kicked you out. That has nothing to do with me. That's your content. That was the problem. So you say, I need to take responsibility. It's time for you to take responsibility. It's you that got yourself kicked out by making that content. It's time to wake up. The madness needs to stop. Duty was the first. Okay? Duty was the first. You're setting yourself up to be the next.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a strange song selection, but I get the mic drop moment. It's a good moment.
It's from Transformers when they think it's made out. Anyways, okay, here we go.
And it ain't me doing it, it's you. Notice, I didn't ever say a word about Super Crazy until Super Crazy made this video to threaten me with legal action on the internet.
Okay, so to sum it up, Philip starts the video by saying, I never did that. shows it on stream that he did do that, then says, I did that in error, then says, I did do it once, but it was an error. I won't do it again. I already did it once, but that was an error. I won't do it again. And there you go. So here's the video. It's super crazy. You want to check it out. Make your own conclusions about that. Do I think this lawsuit is going anywhere? Most lawsuits don't go anywhere, but we'll see how this one goes. We'll see, we'll see how the things go. Good luck to everybody involved. It will be funny. It will lead to funniness if it happens, but you know how these things go. Often the threat of a lawsuit is enough for whatever negative thing has happened for that to stop happening, but we'll also see. There is an update video on Super Crazy channel, so go check it out if you're interested in that. But any final thoughts here? Meerkat, we were the super chats though, so let me get to that. But any final thoughts on the Super Crazy into the lawsuit, Meerkat, please?
I don't think it's going to go anywhere personally. I would like it to go where people want it to go, which is Discovery.
Yes.
Because then we're going to get to see where DSP money goes. Like actually for real. But I don't think it's going to get there. But if that would be great, and I would be proven wrong, and I'm going to take the L, which I'm perfectly fine with. Also, I think it's very, very funny. The last line of this, because it's like the description is like cutting a promo, and the last line says, it's time for him to learn my lesson. Learn your lesson, but then you're going to ask for everybody else to pay for your lesson? That sounds like our lesson to me, buddy. But sure, if people want to support that, go support that. If you don't, then don't. As always, do your own thing.
Come up with your own conclusions. That's what we always support here, on that being said. So, we're reading super chats before we get out of here. I got 9 minutes to speed run these. I will do that. I have to go out, or I will be divorced. That's a guaranteed lock, because next week we got a lot of content coming out next week. So I got to pay for it by
you just cut a promo on yourself.
Yeah. I know how it works, because next week we're going to be in the trenches next week. So I got a family. ALT is a family man this weekend. Let me promise you that. But anyways, let's go chronological order here. The one, the only, the legendary Nugs Medallion, Fantastic Mr. Phil, Snort Exchange, Back to VHS, legendary members. Tony T says, Steve, I love you, but that forehead is shining, boy. He's not afraid of it. He's proud of it. It's not shining either. Come on. Give him a break, Tony T. And I need a hand job in the house. Big ups to Anita. I'm actually craving more head myself, but go ahead. Camping More Dutchman says... you okay, Sir Cat? You seem zooted. Are you zooted, Meerkat, today? Someone's saying, are you okay? Were you zooted?
No, I'm just up from 6 o'clock every day.
Yes.
And that's it. And now it's like half past midnight, so it is what it is. That's how it is.
Tough CEO of Microsoft is a very tough job, so don't give him shit about that. Heroic Biz says, someone please send Craig the Derek defense clip. I'm sure they will. I'm sure Craig will be informed of what he needs to be informed of. Mr. Extravagant, Sonny Sanchini, Henry Varro, members, legends. ES says, Phil is a weaker, fatter Drax. Do you agree with that or not agree with that? Sir Cat.
Drax, Guardians of the Galaxy, like Batista Drax?
Or was it Cyrax? I thought, but
Cyrax? I think if it's Drax, it's like the Guardians of the Galaxy, because he's like, he can't read the room. He takes everything literally. That's his thing.
Gotcha. Yeah. Bikes in the house says Jade fell out of his wheelchair reading this. I don't know what we were reading.
Like the stuff around Derek, I guess.
Oh, yeah, the Derek stuff. Yeah. Movie Sign says, so much for Phil. I don't want to have anything to do with drama burnout. And that is the channel now. There is no two ways about it. Gaming is a thing of the past so far where it feels weird when he talks about gaming. It's kind of like jarring. I'm like, what games? We're talking about games here. What? Games. It's shit about games.
There was somebody... Yeah. Somebody who did the math and did like a pie chart of all the gaming versus non-gaming moments. And I'm pretty sure it was like split down the middle, almost 50-50.
Talk about games. I want no game. Taylor Jennings says, will DSP's first question to Craig be about himself? You can answer that yourself. Absolutely, yes. And Chico says, his real fans are the biggest losers of this arc. And honestly, yes. I mean, that's a factual statement. Because... the internet is winning, right? DSP's winning, but the internet's winning too, because the content is not ending. But the people that really do lose are the people that really trusted Philip, wanted Philip's gaming content, enjoyed the day one views, enjoyed his small little community. And now, get fucking felted, dude. We don't need you around here. I'm not playing with you anymore. Next up, Meth Bear
Wasn't
says,
even Jade who said like, "Oh, not drama again." Oh,
yes.
Even Jade was like, "Not more drama."
That is coming up. We're talking about drama again today, Philip. Like Fed Roger and those people that are always there. Like drama again, you know. So whenever every arc ends, and whenever this arc ends, that's gonna be fun to retcon all this, right? I always said, "Oh, don't do drama." I had to talk about this, right? Meth Bear says Derek is behind the scene. Derek is a behind the scenes tipper, if anything. Yeah, for support. You're saying. I know he used to tip, but that was when he stole his mommy's credit card. So you know.
Oh, did we reckon there's like because there's rumors that he was either he messaged Phil, he commented Phil saying, "Hey, I got your email about changing my account," or he was active in like one of the champions chat rooms.
I don't remember that.
Those are
Derek
fairly new.
himself?
I think they're from like last night.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, there's like rumors abounding that he's still in the community in some.
Yo, we didn't even talk about the dude making a sock account to play Champions on stream.
I know.
Fuck.
And we started like half an hour early.
I know.
How do we not even get?
We got Sunday. Hey guys, we still got to do a show on Sunday. So let's save that. All right. So Philip is playing WB Champions. He's admitted on stream to playing it for 7.5 years. Remember, if you believe that, you need the White Coast to come to your house, and you are a mouth droller if you thought he was playing the WB Champions in 2020, 2021. It was a banned word for how many years? But yes, he's played it for 7.5 years, and he said, I don't want to show my credit card. He said, I don't want to go to that screen because I can't show my bank cards. That was a nice catch from somebody. Anyways, moving on. Sunday. Soup says, all that is good and all, but at the end of the day, even after defending a PDF like this, all these dudes still associate with Phil. Pathetic. Soup says, I mean, I don't think it doesn't, at the very least, is not something to be celebrated when after you have to talk someone into it for 20 minutes to ban a pedophile. I don't think that's a cheerable or very kingly action, let's say. Jay Wuso says the haircut and headphones is doing him no favors. Yes. Tony T says constipated smug face. Yes, when he's sitting there with them telling him about Derek is very funny. Feels like I've seen this pig on trial all week. Yeah, it does feel like that, actually. He's been answering a lot of questions. Anti-Anthem says, pretty sure the vest streak ended on September 7th, 2020, which was Labor Day, and 4 years later, June drops the Kingslayer doc on Labor Day. Big ups, boys. Now, as you know, any drama brings the support. It'll definitely last another week because June documentary, as bad as it is, will still bring attention to DSP, which means the streak continues. Bob Starsky says Triple P's glasses off, then facepalm was glorious. Yeah. He was so flabbergasted by Phil's defense of Derek, took his glasses off, wiped the face, like, holy shit, man, you still aren't agreeing to it, dude? You sure about this? We still got to talk? We thought it'd be a little segment. We thought it'd be 5 minutes. RS Nerd says, some might even argue criminally negligent. Now, that's not for us to decide, but I guess some might say that it's criminally negligent to have a PDF file in your community. And when you know about it, that's very clear. He knew clearly about it. Meth Bear says, we already know about Timbo and his bankruptcies, Liam, the villain, Prince Jade, Sidella, Game Trekker. Who's a perpetual victim like Phil? So obviously people know a lot about Philip's main people in chat that have been there for years. A Curious Mage says, Derek has dirt on Phil. Why else defend a PDF? That's the question we're all asking, Curious Mage. I'm curious about it myself. Joe G says
the trolls win. We win now. Wake up. We won.
Joe G says, DSP acknowledged emailing with Derek months ago. Yes, he acknowledged they did have an email correspondence, and it wasn't just a one-time thing. It's a continued email correspondence with a known pedophile that he knew about. RS Nerd says, get in the wood chipper, Dave. Who's pooping says, popping. Philip is
that's a JD Delay reference. Well done.
Philip is a Washington's Jimmy Savile. That's how you say that, right? Jimmy Savile, the British guy. Savile, the British guy
Jimmy
that he did nice things for kids too, didn't he?
He did a lot for charity, yeah.
Yeah.
A popular host on TV, hosted a couple of shows. Very successful, yeah.
He's a pretty cool guy outside of, yeah.
Outside, if you ignore all that,
outside of, yeah.
It's within my moral code not to do research on people like this. So if he was a nice guy, for all I know,
in chat,
everything else people told me about.
In chat, he was, yeah.
Oh yeah, he was nice and very nice, very complimentary in letters. All right, Keemstar Phil says being forced to ban a PDF is anything but a win. That's what I say too. Being forced into it doesn't mean you get the L for it, right? Francisco Ramos from HIA says Andy Worski was taken advantage of by a babysitter. I think that kind of explains his odd behavior. That is lore I never knew. But there you go. Francisco is saying it. Who's
We're not
popping
going to
says...
check it.
Yeah,
Just
not going to check it.
Go strike the video now.
Who's poppin' says Steve the American skis don't know what nonce means. I do. I know what nonce means. It means pedophile, correct?
You didn't know what spliff meant, though.
Spliff is a tough one. All right, Hosky says, I feel sad for Jeffrey Dahmer getting arrested because he never Jeffrey Dahmered anyone while we were at church together.
Yeah. True.
Very true, Hosky. Who's poppin' says ignorance is bliss. Phil would eat a digital steak. Yeah, definitely. Matrix reference. All right, JE5150 says Jade, it time ban. Maybe. Mario Faker says he wouldn't even let Derek reply to his tweets.
Oh, God, yeah, no.
He blocked him on Twitter. Yeah. But he did follow him for many years. Don't forget that. Some Gator says, didn't he do the reverse on drug dealer Tevin? Yeah, Tevin is now cool now. I think he said that recently, right? Tevin's cool. SOK wasn't that bad. The respectable, I think the SOK was. Tricorder Transmission says Derek has receipts on DSP. I'm convinced of it. We'll never know, right? But might explain some things. JE5150 says Derek, DSP should be thankful only trolls watch him. Imagine if a bigger YouTuber was caught knowingly keeping someone like Derek around. Look what happened to Mr. Beast. Oh, God, yeah. Holy shit. If this was big enough to be on, like, Drama Alert, you know? Imagine. I'm not saying the same situation there, but, you know, it's a situation that would be covered on Drama Alert. Put it that way. And you could bet your sweet ass that if we were not in this arc right now, Kino Casino would be covering this very heavily and being very critical of the boy, right? I mean, pretend that happened on a different show on the side scrollers. They'd be doing that for an hour, like we did, because we also do stuff like that. Hate Army says, I can't unfuck his sister. I believe they call it, yeah. I can't unfuck his sister. I believe they call this gigafelting in the casino industry. Big ups Lord Kane 666. Ira says, DSP jealous of Jenna in his own thread is peak. Yeah. I don't want Jenna to get the attention. What the fuck? It's about me. Don't you get it? Lord Kane says, I guess me sleeping with someone equals criminal. I bet. Okay. ES says, those are coke nods, Meerkat, about Andy Worski. When he's
Look, I'm not going to bash the guy. For all I know, he got cleaned up and he's been sober for a while, which I can respect very much.
That's what I say. I've already said my heartfelt thank you to the Kino Casino boys for making this arc happen. There was a time there I wasn't sure how good it was going to get, but we're there now. We're in the Thanksgiving era. We're in the Thanksgiving portion of this era where it is feasting every day. Who's Poppin' says money going to detractors and not Philip. Felted. Yes. Too Keen to Give a What says, it's funny because Review Tech USA and Phil are both Italian lolcows and from Bridgeport, Connecticut. Phil isn't felting anyone. Nice. They're brethren.
The air
Porsche's Rump
not healing
says,
enough.
King Eagle says, so you say Chu has an older sister? Is she also versed in DSP lore? No, because if so, what's her ring size? Also, big ups, that being said, you guys are awesome. Big ups, King Eagles. Chu's sister and Chu are not well versed in DSP lore outside of the few things I've talked about, but that's basically like jerking off, and that's the beginning and end of it. ES says, Your Honor, I'm sorry. I thought I could rob him. Yes, I retracted my robbery, Your Honor. ES says, Phil's non-existent lawyer is going to be so mad. Well, he has lawyers, don't you know? And Copeside Phil says, Super Crazy got $800 after this rant. And yeah, DSP, no matter what you think about this lawsuit, I can promise you this. The one thing you don't want to do is bring attention to a fundraiser about it, no matter how stupid it is, you think? Because what's the benefit to you, right? You're trying to get him to take it down? Yeah,
real quick to avoid the divorce because we're over time.
Yeah,
but even though DSP is super mega convinced that this will get nowhere, nothing's gonna happen, he's still paranoid that something might happen. So you can see this at several points in this video where at some point he even points out, if this happens to exist, I'm gonna need the internet's help. But at this point, he got a spotlight shine on him from several different sources. So I'm pretty sure he's going to get the help he needs. So this is going to be a pretty tough battle on both ends.
Yes.
If you're going to commit to this.
So it's we'll see. We'll see. Steve of the Dead, final words, please. Go.
I wanted to have like a casino chip because I thought I had one, so I could be like, "Hey, Phil, I got my last chip, and you're never going to felt us and all that stuff." And I couldn't find one, but I do have one that marks me out as the dealer.
There you go.
Phil, you know what they say about the house.
There we go. Meerkat, final words, please. Come on.
Just do a Sam and go buy it.
Oh yeah, by the way, I got an email that somebody gifted me a membership to this channel, so thank you very much.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you on Sunday. Bye. I'm out of here. Bye.
This one goes out to the one and only, the big cat, the fat cat. Big ups.